Is there anything about jail you actually enjoy or like?
No, there's nothing about here I like or enjoy.
I wasn't wishing on nobody.
These motherfuckers right here, they're like 3 machetes. See what I'm saying? Gang stabbing is a normality in here. Like,
my name's Doodoo Brown. I throw shit. And they call me shit 'em down. Push quick.
This place is fucking crazy, huh? This is Clayton County Jail, and it's one of the wildest jails in Georgia. Stabbings happen here almost daily, the guards are staffed at less than half capacity, rival gang members are crammed together, and anyone not in a gang is at a serious risk of being extorted or shanked. The food here is terrible, the inmates are not allowed to exercise, and you are never allowed outside for fresh air during your entire stay here, which could be years. And these are just a few of the problems you're going to hear about in this episode. And today, thanks to the newly instated Sheriff Levon Allen, a man who believes in transparency and is determined to fix this jail, we were granted full access to interview the inmates. From the men's jail visiting the stabbers unit, the murderers pod, and the good behavior dorm, join us as we get unprecedented access inside one of the scariest places we've ever been, and we explore the questions of fairness, incarceration, and the deeper systematic issues that are playing out in jails all across the country. Let's get to it. So we're just about to check ourselves into Clayton County Jail, stop at the gas station. We'll just get out of
Clayton County, I just got out 2 days ago.
What are the conditions in there right now?
Conditions are horrible. I'm talking about 16 rooms, supposed to have 2 people, so that's 32. Instead, you got about 45 to 55. It's 3 people to a cell.
Okay, what about weapons and danger?
It's a lot of weapons in there.
Jesus Christ.
The cells don't work, the doors don't work, they don't close, they don't lock.
So what should I do?
Don't go. That's all I can say.
But I just don't want to get stabbed. That's my
That's a 50-50 chance. I can't guarantee you're gonna leave out of there with the same body.
What do people do all day?
Talk shit, try to fight, antagonize people through the windows, gang bang, smoke weed. Good luck.
All right. I wasn't that scared. Now I'm a little fucking scared, I could say. What's going on in here? Good to meet you, Tommy.
Likewise, man. Captain Hewitt, man.
Good to meet you, Captain. This is the team.
All right. Right.
Okay, can you tell me what we're looking at here?
So those are the jail cells actually themselves. So it's where all the inmates are housed.
Is there any sunlight that gets in?
Through those windows, yes.
How you doing?
That's Chief Green. Chief
Nice
Green.
to meet you. All right.
So,
Not much. See some of your stuff too.
Thank you.
yeah. So the sheriff. So you have the sheriff, which is the number 1. He's number 2.
Okay.
That's the easiest way to remember. So that's Chief Green.
Would you recommend staying overnight in the murder unit?
Would I recommend it?
Like, would I be safe, do you think?
Yes, I believe you would be.
Okay.
Because we have locked doors in the murder unit.
I heard the locked doors don't work.
Well, some doors work, some doors don't from the inmates that have destroyed the doors or messed up the doors. But most of the doors, 90% of the doors in here work.
Are you guys able to put me with a cellmate who has a good reputation? For next week's video, I'll be living as an inmate in this jail. So if you see me asking the guards about staying here or shots of me in an orange jumpsuit, that's why.
You mean in the murder unit? I mean, I wouldn't recommend that, like putting you, because it's no telling what that inmate would do. I've seen a lot over the years, so I can't verifiably say what's gonna happen. I mean, we've seen fights, stabbings. It's a jail. It's a jail.
When was the last time there was a stabbing here?
Last night.
How common are knives in here?
You pretty much like on the street with a gun. Just
So like 80%
everybody's
of the
got
guys
one.
have.
Just know that everybody's got one.
You want to take us in there? Should we start this journey?
We'll head down and start it off.
Man's on deck.
Yeah, so you saw the doors from the outside that are our bucking chutes for our violent inmates. So they'll come in and they'll be brought in straight through that door with this door secure.
What is your first impression of the smell in here? Smells like a dog kennel.
This is very light. Yeah, this smell isn't bad in here.
It gets worse?
Yeah, a lot worse. So that when we go through the intake process, they start in cell 1 and then they move their way around until they're completely booked in.
Non-compliant husband, father.
Okay. They got a non-compliant inmate if y'all want to go with them.
inmates are non-compliant. They said that they have weapons, they have metal objects. So we just gonna go down there and see what's going on.
Does this happen on a daily basis, weekly basis?
Yes. My name is Shakur Strickland. I'm a sergeant for the Clayton County Sheriff's Office.
How long have you been doing this?
I've been here for 3 years. I've been a sergeant for 2 years.
How do you describe your job?
I feel like I have one of the hardest positions, but I can handle it, you know.
And what made you decide to do this job?
My whole family is in law enforcement, so I feel like that's something I always wanted to do. People always see me growing up and said I was gonna be always in jail or something like that, so I chose to change my life.
We are about to enter the Stabbers unit, where every inmate housed here has stabbed someone during their stay at Clayton County Jail. This is arguably the most dangerous dorm in the entire facility.
Get on the wall! Hey, stop!
What's the issue?
Yeah.
Why are we having
I wanted to give a male officer the knife. I didn't want to give it to a female officer. I gave it up immediately. The only reason I acted in an irate manner is because this man just acted in an aggressive manner with spray. It felt like this man just had a gun. I'm a real officer. This man said, I don't know his name, bro. I ain't trying to get nobody in trouble. It's crazy.
So when we shut down y'all cells, there ain't nothing in there?
Nothing in there. We done to right now.
You may be wondering why the walls are black in this cell. That's because many of the inmates here make fires in their cell so they can cook, smoke, or melt things down to make into shanks. And over time, the smoke stains the walls pitch black.
Don't you have another case coming up next week?
I got trial.
Next week.
Hopefully they let me go.
Hopefully they let you go.
Like Clayton County, many jails around the country have started to feel more like prisons because, as you've heard, some inmates spend years here before ever being sentenced. And that's not how it's supposed to work. Jails are meant for short-term stays, usually for a few days to a few months while someone awaits trial or sentencing. And for context, the Speedy Trial Act of 1974 sets a federal guideline of about 70 days from indictment to trial. But with local courts backed up and public defenders overwhelmed, many inmates end up sitting for years before their day in court, raising serious questions about violations of the Sixth Amendment, the right to a speedy trial.
Sheriff Levon Allen, Sheriff of Clayton County.
And how long have you been Sheriff of Clayton County for?
Since December 22nd, 2022.
When somebody's there for 5 years, somebody could say that's violating their right to a speedy trial. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. Now, there are some different things that take place in each case on why something has taken so long. Maybe someone has not been deemed competent during that particular time. Or maybe there have been continuances on both sides, you know, by the defense and by the prosecution. And there's various reasons on why those things have taken place. But again, my goal is not to keep anyone here a second longer than what they're supposed to be, because ultimately I need the space.
County jails fall under the jurisdiction of the local sheriff, and Clayton County Jail is ran by Sheriff Levon Allen. For 16 years prior, the jail was ran by Sheriff Victor Hill, a polarizing figure who faced multiple corruption allegations and was ultimately sentenced to 18 months in prison for violating the civil rights of inmates inside this very jail.
The former sheriff was convicted in 2022 of violating inmates' civil rights.
He tortured people by ordering them held in restraint chairs.
Hill was sentenced to 18 months in prison.
Now, Sheriff Allen inherits a facility plagued by overcrowding, understaffing, and years of controversy, and it's on him to try and turn things around.
My name is Danny Nagel. I am a former prosecutor here in Clayton County, former judge, and current criminal defense attorney and PI attorney in Atlanta, Georgia. The issue is that they have too many cases. and there's no way to keep up with as many cases as there are.
Everyone here, from the inmates to the guards, is well aware of the understaffing problem, but fixing it isn't as simple as it sounds. The county board considers the jail fully staffed at 123 guards, which Sheriff Allen has. The reality, though, is that the jail needs at least 100 more officers to run safely, and the county board even paid a consulting firm nearly $375,000 to confirm that, and still, they have refused to fund extra positions, leaving Sheriff Allen's hands tied as the violence and chaos continues.
Clayton County commissioners approved a budget that would let go of nearly 40 correctional officers. It's a move county leaders said would save the county $10 million.
So the bottom line appears to be this. Sheriff Allen genuinely wants to make this place better, but without the budget to hire guards that make the jail safer, or the option to build additional capacity to better segregate the prisoners and address the overcrowding, how could anyone make real progress? And to me, it seems like a question of human rights versus fiscal responsibility. And the problem is, due to his position, Sheriff Allen will likely take the blame for issues he doesn't have the resources to fix. Let me know in the comments what you make of this situation.
We in 5-5. We in the hole right now.
And what's it known for?
Straight stabbing. This is
the stabbing unit?
This is a stabbing or a violent unit. The only reason the police put us here because they're saying we're problematic with other inmates and we tend to cause harm to other inmates, allegedly.
Okay. So, but their stabbers are mixed in with protective custody.
Yes. What?
Yes.
That's what you're saying?
Murders with a POP. They'll have a rapist with a theft by receiving, brother. This jail freestyle gang. This Clay County don't give a about you.
So why are people with traffic citations sitting in the same room as somebody that's stabbed somebody?
That's a good question.
These charges would come through the jails and flow through the courts in a timely manner. So you would not have such a backlog or an issue. So you could have someone who comes in for a murder, you have someone who comes in for something simple as a shoplifting, and they could be in two separate parts of the jail, and as their case flows through the court, it's done, it's proficient, and it's no issue. But when you have a backlog of cases, now you have an overcrowded jail, and you have to be able to properly classify people and also properly separate them from the different classifications. And right now, we have just outgrown the ability and the space of this jail.
My name is Alexis Sanchez-Umbreno. I just got out of Clayton County Jail. I'm currently serving weekends and for a fleeting and eluding charge. And man, I just want to say I'm currently in the dorms where the trustees at, but I've been to general population and this shit is not it. It's dirty, pipes are leaking, it's 3 to a floor. The cells are wet, there's like sewer water everywhere. Last time I've been in there, it was terrible, man. And from what I hear, people are getting extorted every day. And it's not right. Say people just get locked up for a traffic ticket and they're in there with evil people, like real criminals, and it's just not fair.
Well, so even a minor traffic infraction, like you might get hemmed up by some people in the jail and be like, hey, you know, you're gonna send us money to our cash app or we're gonna beat your ass, or we might stab you or kill you or do something worse to you.
Can you give me a tour? Those are the showers over there?
Yeah, no showers. Hell yeah, we can give you the tour. Hey. All right, so look, we ain't got no shower doors in it. We ain't got no shower door right here, right?
You guys just have to shower out in the open like this?
Yes. Yeah, we got a shower like that. But
And if females in the pool, they're gonna say indecent exposure, which is why we ask for light showers and intake. Which is what
so do you guys have to, like, one guy like us to protect the shower while the other guy showers, or what?
Nah, we just go on the other side of the day room. Hey, but look, back to what I'm saying. These motherfuckers right here, they're like 3 machetes. See what I'm saying?
How do you make a machete?
See what I'm saying? So you just kick this motherfucker off, we gonna come off. See what I'm saying? I can kick him off. I don't have about 5 knives.
So how long does it take to make a knife?
It depends on what kind of knife you're trying to make. If I was to bust somebody, I would want to bust them with a flat piece because it's harder to stitch up. A rod, they only leave marks like I got hit with a rod. Gang, stabbing is a normality in here. Like, it is very common for you to pull up on inmates, some of your stab wounds. They'll come out in the jumpsuit, I'll show you. Like,
Was that a shank? Oh shit.
This is what they gave us.
What goes through your mind knowing that 9 out of 10 guys has a shank walking around? Like what goes through your mind?
Man, you just gotta be careful. Don't look at nobody the wrong way and just, keep it pushing, man. You just stick to yourself. And if somebody comes, you just be ready.
This is one of the more dangerous units?
yes, this
Right now, this is the most dangerous house.
Okay.
Listen, this is on file. Gang, there is nobody in this jail that has been charged with more stabbings than me. I promise you. I have 3 folders. The normal inmate has like a folder this day. I have like 3 folders.
How old are you?
I'm 25. I've been here since I was 20. I was originally booked for a murder and armed robbery. I went to trial of March of 2024. I was acquitted of every charge that ever brought me to this jail. The only charge that I'm still facing right now are stabbings. If I would have never caught a charge in jail, I would have went home last March.
If I would have never caught a charge, I would have been home 24 months ago.
This jail is made to trap you to get in here. They put you in a messed up environment, and when you defend yourself, they're gonna charge you. And once you get charged, it's hard to get out of this.
You want to show me what are we allowed to see their cell?
Oh, we got to see inside out.
Is that okay to bring us to the cell?
We can't even see out our window.
Can't see out our window.
This our
How many people live in here?
3. We sleep on the floor, gang.
We've been living in this motherfucker 10 feet away from my toilet for the last 3-4 years, gang.
You've been in here for 3 or 4 years?
Not this room, but
in this jail.
In this
Over 4 years.
cell.
Well, I sleep out with my head by the toilet every night.
Did someone get their dreads ripped out?
Nah, I cut my dreads off. This jail has an extreme problem with bugs, and I had to get rid of them.
So if I plan on sleeping here tomorrow, am I at risk of getting bed bugs?
Extreme. I can almost guarantee you're gonna get them.
Almost every dorm in this jail has a bed bug problem, and there's a fierce debate over who's responsible. Some say it's the jail's duty to provide a clean environment, and that failure to do so potentially violates the 8th Amendment, which protects inmates from cruel and unusual punishment. The fact is, the sheriff spends about $20,000 a month on pest control, and his team argues they're fighting an uphill battle against inmates who refuse to clean their cells, giving the bugs a perfect place to hide and multiply. And at this level of infestation, it's nearly impossible to fix without moving every inmate to a different facility, then treating every wall, vent, mattress, and piece of clothing, and then, once the inmates get transferred back, making sure that no one brings the bugs back in. And even if all of that is done, it only takes one new inmate arrival carrying a bed bug to start the cycle all over again, which makes this problem a massive headache to deal with. What do you guys do for fun?
Rap, read.
Yeah.
Anything you recommend the people back home?
James Patterson. I like crime novels. Or J.K. Rowling.
You like Harry Potter?
Yeah, I love Harry Potter.
Great.
Avid Harry Potter fan.
What was your childhood like?
I was not raised to be like this. I don't know if you could tell from my vernacular, but I grew up in a very affluent household. I just chose this lifestyle because that was what was cool in getting girls at the time. But now I realize I've been tricked. What I thought was lame on the street is actually cool. And what I thought was cool is actually lame, so now I have to get out with a different mindset.
Like, why is it, especially in the hood, that sometimes the most dangerous guy is the coolest guy?
Because he understands the streets. He understands what comes with the streets. I'm actually from the streets. I know the streets very well, but I also know the law too. Like, I know if I use what I know in the streets, what could happen. You know what I'm saying? So I think the most dangerous person will be smart enough to say, hey, if I do this, I'm going to go to jail for the rest of my life due to me being a gangster.
But did you have a good family, a good household?
Great family. Like, I grew up in a single mother household. I grew up with a stepdad, but my mom bust her ass, like, did the best she could. My mom was a real estate agent, a school teacher, like, affluent household.
Any message to your mom?
Mom, I'm sorry. I'm making right. I love you.
I might be an inmate tomorrow, so if I see you out there,
Might be an inmate tomorrow.
I don't know. We'll see.
If you an inmate tomorrow, send me a kite. I'm gonna see you at night. You gonna need it.
Yeah, you gonna need it.
This place is fucking crazy, huh?
Yeah,
so they're on lockdown for a good amount of the day?
Yeah, 23 and 1.
23 and 1?
23 and 1 day.
So they have 1 hour of freedom a day, and that's their freedom consists of this room.
Yes, yes. Or they can go to the yard. Yeah, especially when they do something like this, showing knives to us and stuff like that, they feel like...
Do they get in trouble?
Yes, well, we're gonna do some disciplinary paperwork on them. They already died for security, so they like...
So what more trouble can they possibly get?
Nothing.
So they just keep adding time to their sentence if they get caught?
Yes.
How much time does someone get when they're caught with a shank?
14 additional days, 14 to 21 days.
What's going on, Sheriff?
What's going on, my man?
Wild place here, man.
Yeah. This is where everyone who's charged with murder, they're brought back into this area.
And this is where I was considering sleeping.
Yeah.
Bad idea, huh?
You want to do it?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to feel it.
I would do it. If I had the time to do it, I would.
All right. So someone who started a fire. Holy shit, that doesn't even happen.
Go to the wall.
Window?
Burn the window.
Go to the right wall. Put your hands behind your back.
You don't go down here, y'all see.
Burn the whole
lights. They don't need lighters. All they need is a positive and a negative wire connection. They can burn paper, stuffing up the vents, restoring the cell. Everything in here was brand new. As you can see, contraband. These are tactical moves. All I do is spark the wire connection, put the paper down, and it starts to fire.
Okay, Sheriff. So one of his complaints is going to be about onions on his tray. We already verified what's on his tray, what he's allergic to. He's not allergic to onions. So that's something he's about to complain about.
Did you tell him he was allergic to onions? All right,
Not at the time.
All right, that's what I'm saying. So you gotta make the stuff make sense, man. I'll make sure that the nutritionist speaks to you again. And make sure you tell them everything at one time. All right?
You guys do a 23-in-1 schedule? Mm-hmm. What do you think about that?
I don't have a problem with 23-in-1 because it gives me a lot of time to think about my actions and the shit that I've done wrong.
Jail some real bullshit. They got shanks. He threatened to kill me earlier. Now we friends. What kind of shit? He's smoking ice in here. He's smoking strips in here. He got the cigarettes in here. And my name Doodoo Brown. I throw shit. And they call me shit him down. Push quick.
Those were his feces he just walked over?
So if you look at his door, 5108, you see the glass is missing because he takes and builds fires and puts it up against the glass and melts the glass out of it so that he can then take and throw feces on officers.
He's a regular feces thrower?
Yes, on a very regular basis, daily, typically daily.
How would you rate this if your worst unit is a 10, what was this unit?
4.
Jesus. Okay, so this is the murder unit.
This is the murder unit. So if you look, when we go in the door from the left to right, we start with murderers and then move around to aggravated assaults.
And keep in mind, every inmate here is innocent until proven guilty in court. But here are the facts. Out of the roughly 2,000 inmates housed in this jail, about 200 are charged with murder, and another 600 or so are here on attempted murder charges.
Garrison!
Look at that chest set. What did we get? What'd you get?
Oh man.
Let's see. Woo! Wait, this normal jail food?
It is normal jail food. It's a blessing. It's simple out there, but it's a real blessing. You feel me? When you in here, you learn to be grateful. That's one thing we always talk about. Like, you might be grateful to walk outside and just look at a tree. You feel me? Something simple, something just, you feel me? But
That's a great, to walk outside and look at trees and just be happy to be alive is a beautiful thing.
Be grateful, you feel me? Be happy. Just to see a bird be a blessed feeling. For real.
What unit are we in right now?
7-1. We're in 7-1.
What is it known for?
Depending on who you ask, they'll say this is the more dangerous charge.
This is a dangerous unit? Yeah. How old are you guys?
I'm 21. I'm 23.
What's the schedule here? Like, what time does your day start here?
The day start early. Breakfast trays probably come around like 3 in the morning.
Yeah. 3 or 4 in the morning?
Yeah.
That's early.
Yeah, early.
How good's the breakfast?
Have a question that.
Bad?
Anything grits, one day oatmeal the next day good? It ain't good. I don't really eat it for real. I'd rather find me something else.
Does time go by fast or slow in here?
It really go by fast to me.
Huh?
I've been locked up like 52 months.
Does that feel like a long time to you?
Nah, it really still feel like I got locked up yesterday.
Is there much to do for fun around here?
It's all about how productive you can be. You feel me? Find a way to keep themselves occupied and keep their mind off of whatever it is going on.
So what's your hope for the future?
That I get to see everybody on around in these rooms on the street sooner or later. I hope for the future is go ahead and get back out there to the streets.
What kind of household did you guys grow up in?
See, I grew up without a mom, so.
Without a mom?
Yeah, you feel me? So, you know, I grew up in an alright household though. You feel me? I grew up in a single parent household, you feel me? Most of the time we were doing with grandma, so there was always a lot of family around, you know, living with other people.
Would you say your house was stable or was it chaos in your house?
I was stable. Yeah. Auntie did great.
Is there anything about jail you actually enjoy or like?
No, there's nothing about here I like or enjoy.
It's just hell.
I wouldn't wish it on nobody.
What's going on? So what happened?
I'm Tommy.
Chris. I was at a dorm and I was talking to another person. Another person walked up to me and started hitting on me. And I got hit in the face a couple times, and they've been trying to take me medical and take care of me since then.
What brought on the attack?
Some people are not placed in the proper units where they should be. Like, some people are mental and they shouldn't be in population with regular people. So it's a classification problem right now going on in the jail.
So someone that was too aggressive and violent was in your unit?
Yes, sir.
Did it have anything to do with like property or gambling or anything like that?
No, sir.
Okay.
I got my own. I like my food. I'm big. I like to eat.
Is it hard being a white boy in this jail?
In Clayton County, yeah.
Are you unaffiliated, or do you have any crew that can help you?
I'm unaffiliated.
And how is that being unaffiliated? Is that a risk?
It could be, but I mean, I've been here for 2 years, and I've been stabbed one time, and I've had this incident, but like my incidents were isolated incidents. They won't like no gang shit or nothing like that.
So you've been here for 2 years. One of our rights as an American is to have a fast and speedy trial.
They're not all that. I've never been inside of a courtroom. I've never seen an attorney. I have never been given a bond, nothing. I don't even know if I'm indicted or nothing.
Would you say that's most people's experience in here?
Yes.
Court just keeps going on and on.
And a lot of that comes from they fired the public defenders. They got new public defenders. They got Judge Carter's been out. Then they don't have a DA. They got a new DA. So a lot of people are getting their due processing rights denied.
Do you know where we're headed next?
This is the inmate working dorms. These will be the kitchen inmate workers, from back dock sanitation, the cooks for the kitchen, every trade that comes through the jail as far as the inmate eat. These fellas right here work very hard up in the kitchen to get the job done.
Thanks for having us today. Thank you. So tell me about this unit.
We work for the jail, basically. This unit is kitchen workers. So everybody in this unit comes together, makes food for the kitchen, cleans the kitchen, dishwashes. My main thing is serving trays. So they'll have me on the line, sanitizing or serving trays. Just simple things like that. Everybody in this kitchen works hard, man. 12 hours a day, 13
12 hours a day?
12 to 13 hours a day, and we don't get too many perks.
Are you guys
for it.
paid?
No, we don't get paid. Now, I've heard some jails do get paid. That's a blessing. But
What do you
no.
think about that?
You got to take the good with the bad. You know, I think I've been to this jail, and I've been in different sections before. I've been in dorms where they have lice, where they have, I've seen one person with 100 pieces of lice on his jumpsuit. There's dorms where people getting stabbed for no reason, innocent civilians getting stabbed, gang members stabbing people for no reason. So it's better to be in here than in some of these other dorms. That's what I will say.
You guys want to give us a little tour? Tell us what goes down here, what the schedule is. Show us your spot.
This is my little cut. That's over here workout. I call this my front yard.
So this is an open bed?
Yeah.
So anyone new that comes in might get placed there?
Yeah.
Okay. You're built like a brick shit house. What do you do to be so jacked?
On the streets, I'm a personal trainer, nutrition, and a massage therapist, a sports coach, and a weight loss therapist. Just got into a little BS, and now I'm doing a little bit of time, but I work out on the streets. I try to motivate a lot of the guys in here to work them out because we work so hard for the jail. It's kind of the only thing that's going to keep their bodies from completely breaking down because 7 days a week, no off days, 10 to 12 hours, man, we're working non-stop.
So what are you doing here to be in shape? Like what are your go-tos?
I actually designed to work out. I mean, it's something that comes out of this. So basically I do a lot of pull-ups, squats, different variations of push-ups,
Is there a place to do pull-ups in this room?
Yeah, well, I jump up there and grab the bar, even though I'm not supposed to be on that motherfucker. But yeah, I jump up there, grab the bar, do
this
pull-ups.
pipe right here?
Mm-hmm.
They get mad though if you do that?
Yeah, because they don't want us working out in here. Why? I don't know, but it releases
So are people technically not allowed to work out?
Yeah, technically we're not really supposed to be working out in here. We'll make water bags, and of course they're gonna pop those.
Working out is what gets people mentally healthier.
It is.
So how many guys call this place home?
I think right about now there might be around 41 of us in here right now.
So this is a question. There's pretty much two sides of the coin. Some people say, you know what? If they committed a crime, throw the book at them. They don't deserve nothing. This is how it should be. Other people say, hey, it's inhumane. There should be better conditions. Like, what is the answer when it comes to prison or jail conditions, do you think?
I guess when you do something wrong, you go through whatever it is to go through. They make things nice. They can make a brand new jail for us. it's not the officers or the sheriff or anybody like that that's tearing down the jail. It's literally the people that they're putting inside of the jail. So you can't really blame the guards or the officers or anybody else like that, because a lot of the places, when they're new, they're new.
Why are these guys doing it? I'm trying to understand why you'd want to turn the place that you have to live for a certain amount of time into a complete shithole.
That's beyond me.
I'm a young man. I have certain urges. How do I take care of that in prison, jail?
You can go in the stall, leave it in the toilet. You can go in the shower, leave it in your towel. You know, if that's what you got to do. And everybody sleep, pitch a tin in your fucking rack and go crazy, you know,
okay.
Gotta get creative, I guess.
Soy de Honduras, trabajo en el área de la cocina, tengo aquí 23 meses, me acusan de narcotráfico, he ido a 2 cortes, no tienen ninguna prueba contra mí, no hay control, mucha gente la navajean con cuchillos, mucha droga.
Man, we seen people get stabbed up and the officers just staring at them. Don't even call nobody. You know what I'm saying? And they got officers bringing drugs in here. There's all kinds of crazy shit, but they want to blame it on us.
And a Clayton County correctional officer found herself on the other side of the law this afternoon after she was accused of trying to enter the jail with contraband.
This Clayton County correctional officer is in jail tonight, accused of trying to bring contraband inside.
Sheriff LaVon Allen has arrested 2 of his own corrections officers for allegedly smuggling drugs into the jail.
If you check the news right now, they're gonna say Miss Allen, oh, she was selling drugs, putting drugs. I was in that door. I was next door to them niggas while they was doing all that shit. But it's not like it's the sheriff's fault. The sheriff don't know.
What are a lot of these stabbings over?
People trying to get respect. Somebody probably did something to their person on the street. They called, and now they stabbed them for basically bragging rights. They paying.
That gets them more time.
Yeah.
How much more time?
It all depends, because now the judge, they can run a concurrent to what they initial charges is. You know, if they already here for murder, they gonna say, oh, you only here for murder, and you got an ag assault. They ain't gonna really do nothing to it. So they feel like I can just stab you and then.
This is the confiscated shanks. Which ones are the most dangerous, you think? Like the worst?
Probably these. I think those are the most dangerous right there.
All right, so where are we about to go?
Oh, we can go to 3.
Is that the mental health
unit?
Yeah. Have we been in this one yet?
No, sir.
This is the mental one?
Mental health, yes, sir.
The entire place?
We got the medical dorm, section 6, and the rest of the old man dorm, one of the old man step-down dorms in dorm 3.
Next up, we visit the mental health unit, where inmates housed here are battling psychological issues ranging from thoughts of unaliving themselves to schizophrenia to inmates that have not yet been diagnosed. Tell me about this place.
Hey, they violate people's constitutional rights out here. Hey, this supposed to be a mental health door. It's all filthy and stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. I've been here people 3 days. Due process says probation supposed to be seen in 7 to 10 business days. I haven't been seen. So I keep calling my family. They keep telling my family it's on a public defender. Then they say I don't have a public defender. Then they trying to put it on a probation officer. They're giving my family to run around.
Tell me from your point of view what's going on here.
So basically, this is just the mental health unit.
Just this dorm or this one, this one, this one?
1, 2, 4, and 5.
And what gets someone qualified to come in here?
They get evaluated by mental health, the mental health staff here, and they go by the medication that they taking, and that's what qualifies them to come in mental health.
So do some of these guys more so belong in an asylum than a jail, you think?
I feel like they belong in a mental health, a real mental health facility.
Is there places like that anymore?
Yeah. It's just the bed space. It's just a lot of other people that's in other counties that got to go there. So they just wait on bed space to send these people out to. Most of these people are here for criminal trespassing. Between 1, 2, 4,
Criminal
5.
trespassing is the most common crime that they're. So just loitering?
Yes. Loitering as well. I'm sorry.
Really?
Loitering, yes. Then they can't pay their bonds because they've been doing this so many times.
What brought you into jail?
Criminal trespassing. Well, I thought when you trespass on somebody's property, not the property that you live on. See, I live on the property in which I was deemed criminal trespassing.
Is this your first time being criminal trespass?
Yes.
Okay. So how long are you going to be here for?
Well, it just took place this past week, so I'm hoping not to be here no longer than the time it takes me to go to court.
Hey, y'all look at this. It's from these bugs and stuff in this jail, man. All over my
What kind of bugs you think?
I'm not really sure, man.
Like bed bugs?
Body lice. It's in between my
How long have you been here?
For about a little over a month.
And what are you here for, allegedly?
Originally an escape charge.
Were you in Georgia prisons before this?
Yeah.
How does prison compare to jail?
This jail is by far worse than any prison I've ever been to.
Really?
Yes.
Because right now Georgia prisons are bad, right?
Yeah, this jail's nasty.
Can you tell me what all the mattresses on the floor are for?
Oh, all the mattresses on the floor is because they don't have no bed space.
Overcrowding is a huge issue here. The official capacity for inmates is 1,535, but there are typically between 1,800 and 2,000 people here at a given time. This has pushed this facility to the breaking point, with inmates having to sleep on the floor of their cells or even on the floors of their pods, and it's just another contributing factor to the chaos in Clayton County.
It's been going on since I've been here. I've been here 2 years.
2 years?
Yeah, 2 years.
That seems like a long time without a trial.
I haven't seen nobody. I haven't got a bond. They just, once they lock you up in Clayton County, they forget about you.
I'm from Miami, and the court system here is not good. It's not good at all. They'll leave you in here for months and months on a petty case or even a big case. They don't take you to court back to back like Florida or another state does.
What goes through your head when you see guys that are in here for, their bond could be as low as $150 or $300, but they've been here for 3 months? Like, what do you see as keeping somebody in there for months without being able to cough up that money?
I do believe that that's something that overall our legislators need to look into. The saying would be, do the crime that you can afford to do, right? Which is, if you have two people that do the exact same crime, and then one is just half wealthy and have means and the other one don't, the one that does not have money ultimately stays in jail. They did the exact same crime. Then a lot of times we're paying more to keep the person in jail than what their bond is. We just have to make it make sense, because it costs me more to house you than what it will cost to just let you out.
Guys, for reference, it costs taxpayers about $100 a day to house an inmate, and that's before you even factor in the cost of public defenders, judges, and the entire court system. Meanwhile, some of these guys are locked up for petty charges like loitering or trespassing, offenses that they would be out for if they simply had a couple $100 for bail. And it kind of makes me wonder, is it a good use of taxpayer money to keep someone in jail for weeks for something extremely minor? Let me know what you guys think in the comments.
So I actually was a magistrate court judge here, and I would set bond as low as I could, but when you're working with people who, they don't have any resources, they don't have family, or they don't qualify for a bond, they haven't been on their job for X amount of years, or their family haven't been, or, their family and friends, they don't have legal status, so they're here for what, a couple $100, but the problem is they don't have the resources, and now they're stuck, and now they're in here with the most dangerous people in society. The gangs and stuff, they're gonna look and be like, yo, this is not somebody that's from the streets, this is just somebody, this is a family man that just happened to get caught up for no license. We're definitely about to take advantage of them. Again, if we don't have the capacity to hold people and we don't have the staff to make sure that they're safe, like, that's a recipe for disaster. And what's coming out, at least through, stories on Instagram and TikTok and social media and stuff, is like, it's not being done. Like, they're not being kept safe.
Yeah, look at the top, look at the floor. Look at the floor, look at the roof leaking. Look at the roof leaking.
Every guy in the unit shares one bathroom?
Yeah, we share one bathroom. Well, we got bathrooms in our room, but they don't work.
This is the only working bathroom.
This is the working bathroom.
And it's not working.
That's not a bidet.
How long has it been doing this?
It's been doing that for a while now.
Jesus Christ.
Look, this is where we take a bath in. Would you want to take a bath in there?
This is pretty rough.
Would you want to take a bath in there?
Are you injured, brother?
Yeah. I broke my heel, man. My heel. They ain't take me to the hospital until after 2 months.
Did you guys do the drawing?
Nah.
No, it was someone else from before?
Yeah.
Are you guys roommates?
Yeah.
Just you two staying here?
Yeah.
But you see the light not working, toilet always leaking. We always gotta wipe down the floors, the sinks. You see how the sink is rigged.
Some people could look at the rough conditions in a jail and say, hey, that's what causes somebody to be bad. Other people would say, no, it's bad people that make the tough conditions. Like, where do you fall on that continuum?
One, I wanted to be very clear that we're not running a college university, all right? I'm not the dean of a college. So if I was the dean of a college, you can say, hey, dean, why are the kids smoking and doing drugs on the college campus? Why are they fighting on the college campus? But I'm not a dean of a college. I'm the sheriff of a jail that out of the 2,000 inmates, 1,000 of them either killed or attempted to kill someone. Out of the 2,000, 150 either robbed someone at gunpoint or knife point or snatched or taken some of them. I could fix a shower today and the inmates will go and use the nozzle to the shower, shave it down to try to make it into a shank. So again, I can fix something, they can break something. So again, yes, it's the environment and the condition.
In your opinion, do bad conditions make bad people, or do bad people make bad conditions?
I think that when you put even good people, when you put good people in conditions where they're in like survival mode, human nature is gonna tell you, hey man, like no matter where you are, I gotta survive. I don't think that necessarily defines who someone is. When I get out of that situation, it's like, hey, I'm going back to normal. I mean, it's the same situation as, people in the military. You don't ask people in the military, hey, have you ever shot and killed someone? Like, that's just a thing you don't do. In that situation, they may had to have do something that they normally would not do, but for their life or their safety being on the line.
They all feel like the murder don't. Oh, I didn't shoot this person. I didn't do this. I didn't kill this person. I didn't beat this person.
But the amount of these guys that are in here for no reason, right. I would guess there's a reason.
Everybody feel like they're not in here for no reason. It's a reason why they're in here.
We're about to go into what unit now?
The alternative lifestyle dorm.
And what does that mean?
The LGBTQ community.
Are you forgetting some letters?
Emma?
You're being so rude right now.
Emma said, I don't know, I'm gonna say it.
This is the gay pod. You can't come in unless you're gay.
Can you give the people the lay of the land here?
The lay of the land? Well, this is house of uniform. Alternative lifestyle, orientation. Ain't too much violence on this floor. It's pretty much laid back.
How do you get... What happened?
With his girl.
Oh, so he's being possessive right now? Okay, so what does it take to be in here? How does someone say, I want to be in here?
You have to be part of the community.
The LGBTQ plus community.
So you just tell the guards, hey, look, I'm part of LGBT. Can you please put me over here?
Yeah.
So what happens if you stay in general population?
You normally get beat up. You normally get beat up.
You'll get stabbed. I got stabbed in the face just for being gay.
Just for being gay, someone stabbed in the face?
Somebody stabbed me in my face.
So are a lot of the straight inmates want to secretly get with you guys, but they want to pretend like they don't?
Yeah. They pretend. And that's very confusing. They pretend like they want to be over here with us, but they only doing that for protection.
So some straight guys hide in here just so they don't have to deal with the danger. So you guys feel like you need a weapon just to be safe?
Yes. Sometimes. Weapons to be safe. I have one on me, so yes, I have a weapon on me. We need weapons to be safe in this jail. Fuck this dorm, the jail, period.
Folks, the guards saw the inmate show us his knife, so right after we left this unit, a sweep was conducted and the knife was taken away. Okay, couple of questions. What do those guys in Unit 4, what happens if they're in the general population?
Hey, they might get flagged.
Yeah.
They're not allowed.
Are they in there for their own protection?
For sure. I don't care what they talking about. You look it up. Them folks got more DRs than anybody in the beat. Them folks wild for real.
DRs?
Yeah.
What's DR?
Disciplinary report.
Oh, okay.
You feel me? Them folks, them niggas crazy for real. They talking about us.
If we wanted to spend a day here tomorrow, is that a good idea?
That'd be good. That'd be good in here.
Is it overcrowded enough?
Look at these folks right here.
So where would we sleep if we stayed here?
Right here. Pull up right here. Look at this shit going on, man.
Good. I ain't gonna eat it, but it good.
major pick every person. Like, it's like at least 10 people in here.
So what does it take to be in here?
Outstanding inmate, don't get in no trouble,
Stay out late, work out.
and a good background.
There's only 10 people in here.
10 people.
Sure, here, bring going.
Yes, sir.
Now let me just say, look at the difference of this cell, how clean and nice it is compared to some of the other ones.
For sure, free the guys, man.
So let me ask you this, because this is such a nice cell compared to what we've seen, is that simply because you put a lot of effort into caring for it?
Yes, sir. We have
So the cells that look like shit, is that because the inmates don't take
That's
care of
because
it?
they don't take care of themselves.
So do you guys have any problems with bugs in this?
No, not in this dorm. Not in this dorm at all. No bugs. Kicked up. I be kicking it up in here, guys. Kicking it. Ready to go home. Got a couple months left.
I mean, this seems doable. Like, this is the first cell I've seen where I'm like, oh yeah, I could do some time in here, no problem. The other cells seem like worse than third world conditions.
Bro, water doesn't look someplace is bad, but I got a DOP. I ain't did nothing. I don't have no extra charges or nothing like that. I just did a report because I moved. I was supposed to be changing my probation to Atlanta, and they violated me for that. So that's why you're looking at me right now.
What's going on?
Someone's got the body.
Are we going to a female dorm or male dorm?
Female.
Fight? How often does this happen?
All the time, every day.
So I think a girl is saying that someone's trying to jump her. The non-compliance, what was that all about?
Just an inmate not following orders.
So she wants attention, she wants to say her side of the story.
A little attention.
Got you. Okay. We gotta go, we'll be back in the morning, okay?
Yeah, pull up here for sure.
All right, folks, this was a look into the Clayton County Jail in Georgia, and we saw everything from the guard's perspective, the inmate perspective, the safe, the dangerous, and everything in between. Thank you to Greg of Lucky 8, who does, he makes Netflix documentaries, including 60 Days In. He's the one that got us in here. Thanks to Sheriff Allen for letting us do this. Sheriffs around the country, jails around the country. If you want to let us in to your unit, tell your story, we'd love to go there. So email me at tommygmcgee123@gmail.com. This was a good one. Very interesting, a lot of stories, a lot of unique perspectives, and a pretty fucking crazy environment. Very interesting day in the job, a lot of thoughts going through my head, and I got to experience this as a journalist. But next week, you'll get to see an episode where I experience this as an inmate. It's gonna be crazy. See you next week.
We've seen this situation spiral out of control during the past 5 years. It's a complex problem, and the city's plan isn't working. It's impacting businesses, residents, and the hundreds here on the streets.
Seeing this just makes me so sad. And when you're using, you don't realize it. It really opens your eyes to just how bad it really is.
That's really zombie land. Nothing but zombies walking around. That's really their world over there. You ever hit Mass Ave? That's Geeko land.
Felt alive my first total crack. Imagine that. When karma attacks, you allow your pregnant girlfriend to go and lay on her back. Detoxing them cold shakes. Man, it made my soul break. Rotten teeth, I can see my skull in my own face.
Right here was showing through my skin.
I got started when I was 10. By 12, I was smoking crack and doing dope.
I've been selling drugs since I was 12.
These people are people. Some of these are the nicest, greatest people. They just had really bad trauma or really bad losses in life or just bad luck.
It's a demon. He's one hard motherfucker castaway.
Perhaps no place in America better exemplifies the opioid epidemic than Boston's Methadone Mile. Each morning, hundreds of addicts line up at methadone clinics to get their dose, hoping today won't be the day that they relapse. In the 90s, Big Pharma flooded the market with pain pills, getting millions hooked and walking away with billions in profit, all while facing little to no consequences. But the aftermath of what they did is still visible in the streets of Boston today. In this open-air drug market, crack, fentanyl, meth, and xylazine habits are as cheap as a few dollars a day. And here in these streets, people are trapped in a grim and brutal cycle of addiction. In this story, we'll peel back the layers, speaking to people from Harvard doctors to people selling crack, and from the addicts fighting for survival to those who have escaped their addiction and now work to help others. Furthermore, we aim to uncover the deeper question of how Methadone Mile came to be. As we unravel this mystery, we'll reveal how a single failed infrastructure project may be a key factor behind the hundreds now living in the streets of Boston. Welcome to the side of Boston you've never seen before. This episode is brought to you by today's sponsor, BetterHelp. I've had the opportunity to interview everyone from billionaires to fentanyl dealers and everyone in between. And the truth is, everyone struggles in this journey of life, myself included. I recently started talking to someone because life is changing really fast. I became a dad, I moved, my career is going well, but it's very overwhelming at times. I found it very helpful to sit down and talk to somebody. For all you men out there, it's easy for us to go to the gym and work on our body, but there's some sort of stigma about working on our mind. And I think it's very important. One thing that's really nice about BetterHelp is they make it accessible. You don't gotta travel anywhere. You just book with somebody at your convenience, and you sit down and you have a therapy session in the comfort of your own house. If you'd like to take the step and try your first session, visit betterhelp.com/TommyG today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/TommyG. All right, folks, let's get off the beach. It's time to get gritty into the streets of Boston, covering Methadone Mile. If there's any place in America that has been affected by the opioid crisis, this has to be one of the ground zero spots. So something interesting in history, guys, is that way back in the day, Boston had a very booming opium trade. And actually that's one of the main hospitals in the area of Methadone Mile, Mass General. The endowment was funded by the opium traders. And we got a lot of Chinese folks addicted to opium. Fast forward to today, now Chinese fentanyl is flooded our streets, and the very hospitals that were created from that wealth of the opium is now being used to help fight fentanyl addiction. So it's interesting the parallels of history, how it weaves and ebbs and flows. The first guy we're going to meet with is a guy by the name of Eric, who also goes by his rapper name Exit Fame. By day, he's a recovery specialist that helps people navigate their own addiction and get better. And by night, he's an artist, he's a rapper. He's actually on tour right now.
Nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome, guys. Good. What this area, this is what they called it, Mass Ave, Mass and Cass, Methadone Mile. This is a halfway house right here. It houses like 90 guys. A lot of craziness happens in there. I've been to a lot of halfway houses myself. I've been out here, stuff like that, but some of these people I know, like my guy right there. What up, dude? What up, man? Not much. What are you up to?
We're actually doing a documentary on this area, but I know everybody don't want to be filmed. You know, might have a couple bucks for you. Meet me around the corner or something.
Where do you want me to go?
Go to the gas station. Not everybody can come out here. You know what I mean?
Bottles chucked in our car if it was just us here.
Yeah.
How long have you been sober for?
5 years.
What did it take to get that, to get clean?
A lot of pain. It's crazy because I'm a recovery coach with Gavin now. I'm working in Beth Israel hospitals. I came from circumstances, man, where I was a follower. You know what I mean? Being a follower, it put me in situations where 17 years of my life in prisons, DYS, you know what I mean?
Without Eric with us, we would have gotten a very aggressive response. I mean, these are people that are suffering in a very difficult part of their life. But because Eric was such a well-respected and known figure in the area, when they saw Eric, they wanted to come by and share their story. What happened to your hand, man?
Xylazine.
Yeah?
Yeah. It literally eats like the tissue. It's supposed to like mimic benzos.
What happens when you do benzos?
I black out and I pick up charges.
You like to fight when you're on benzos?
No, I like to steal things. I'll wake up like 3-4 days later going,
What happened?
In the midst of Methadone Mile, you got business owners, people living here, people that are just fighting to survive, pay rent, pay the energy bill, and have to live with hundreds and hundreds of users all around them. And so we're actually going to an auto shop to talk to people about what it's like conducting business.
Every day you get like 2-3 boosters trying to come and sell me stuff. They'll steal it from like the local South Bay over there. It was a fentanyl deal that got arrested right in front of us right here. That happens at least like twice a month, to be honest. I've actually caught a lot of people using the bathroom here, taking shits outside right there. I had to like clean that up. It's pretty dirty. That is human shit, yeah. I'd say on a week we get at least like 2 cars breaking into so they can sleep in there. For example, I got that car right there with a broken window. Obviously it's a junk car, but they still broke the window and they sleep inside the car and stuff. So I had this dude, he used to work for us, he used to like help us sweep up. So one time I gave him my car to go basically get a part from the part store down the street. The car keys had the keys to the shop. Me, I wasn't thinking that he would go to Home Depot and copy the key, which is exactly what he did. He came in with that copied key, stole the whole shop, basically robbed it all. Robbed TVs, even robbed the vehicle that was in here. You can see like what a mess it was, honestly. There was like pipes on the ground. There was I'd say at least like 10 needles, to be honest, because he came with like at least 4 people.
So you've tried to employ people from the area?
Yeah.
And
try to help them, but yeah.
Would you do it again?
No.
We've been in a couple facilities together. You know, we was in treatment like 2019, 2018, been with him, you know, but he's a good dude. My man cleans up nice. I believe in him.
I'm a primary care physician at Massachusetts General Hospital, and I teach medicine at Harvard Medical School. Yeah, the recovery process off of opiates is awful. First of all, you're physically addicted, and it's miserable to come off the opiates.
How accessible is recovery in the city?
It's good. There's a very good support system, you know. Everyone I knew growing up, all the old people, I watched either die, end up in prison, or institutions, you know. It even runs in my family.
Is that when you were growing up, when you were young too?
Yeah. I started seeing it when I was young, you know.
What do you see as the way out of all of this?
I know that the only way out of all of this is to do the right thing, make a step to change your life, and, you know, get sober.
When you get addicted, your sort of emotional connection unfortunately becomes with the drug itself, and you sort of tune out other people. So the minute you take the drug away, you're very lonely and you're just kind of stuck in this awful place where you're. And then third of all, you're dealing with all the chaos that you've created in your life. I think some people are lucky, but most people create quite a mess.
Like my mother's in addiction, you know? She's like the most important person in my life. I can be there for her, be around her, and I know that if she's in active addiction using, I can't change her or make her better, you know, you have to want it on your own.
I am an Alcoholics Anonymous. Shout out to all the fellowships out there that's helping people change their lives. My father had this disease, because we do believe that this is a disease, and got to a point where he was sneaking drugs out of my stuff, and one day I found him dead in the house. I had to smoke crack to deal with life. I had to use dope to deal with life. But now I'm stealing from my mother. I'm stealing from my kids. And the craziness that I did to get the next one, jumping in cars while they're still running, only to find that there's a baby in the back. I'm playing with my life now just to get high or steal something from someone's car I haven't used since 2019, August 3rd. For anybody out there watching this, man, and seeing the reality of what's really going on, nobody wants to be in this situation. We all looking for a way out, and that's why it's never go back.
Two of my uncles and my cousins is out here right now. I'm hoping I could run into them. I'm basically right now spreading love through food.
How much did you go out of pocket to make this happen?
$500.
So how do you fund all this?
I'm blessed.
Yeah.
People give to me, so I give back.
And what kind of impact you see, or what kind of interactions you have with people that are feeling cared for, maybe for the first time in a week or a month or a year?
As long as somebody smiles. You hungry? No, baby, this is free.
You moved down here from Florida?
Yeah, I've been out here since 18, started using dope. My kid's mother first started using needles. I never used a needle in my life, bro, till she hit me.
Hey, what's up?
Motherfucker, where you been to?
I've been locked out.
He said, I've been locked out. That's my dude. You gotta get your ass back in treatment, man.
I've been home for a year and a half. I just wrapped up
for real, go. I didn't even recognize you at first. I was like, oh, that's fucking Jimmy.
So it's really encouraging to see see, like even when you dive into the weeds, that one of the first things we jump into is people that are actively giving back and working to help make this place better. So we got this lady here that set up the food. We have Exit Fame, who every single day is in the trenches trying to help people, bring them to recovery. What got someone to a place that they started off as a cute little healthy baby to someone on the street? And that's part of the mystery that we're unraveling. We're gonna go to something that we haven't really experienced, which is a crack house. I thought crack was a relic of maybe the 80s and that with fentanyl had been dying out, but it turns out it's still alive and well here in Boston and probably more cities than I know about. What's kind of crazy, we're driving through a wealthy neighborhood. We're only 10 minutes from the spot, and it just goes to show you're never really that far away from where it goes down. For context, there's kids on a playground. Like outside it's very normal and family-like, and inside there's crack. Yo, we're outside. What's up, bro? Good to meet you.
Alright, you're here with Chef Twin. We're gonna show you how to turn this into a cookie. I've been selling drugs since I was like 12. I learned how to chef when I was like 16.
What do you think about the risks of this business?
There's always a bunch of risks, but that's what comes with it. You gotta take risks to get rich. That's my motto.
Is there such thing as secondhand high just from cooking it?
I think you guys wanna, this is around the time where it'll start doing that. But if you can see, it dried up.
Do you ever feel bad for the fiends?
Not really. I actually love my fiends too. I don't be feeling bad though. I feel like whatever you're consuming is on you.
When you look at Mass Ave and all the people outside on the street, what role do you feel like you play in all of that?
I'm there for them. They're gonna get it one way or another. I'm just helping them out, making it easy for them.
In the last 7 days, how much money would you say you've made doing this?
Probably like 4,000. Not too crazy.
Have you ever lost a client?
Yeah, I have actually. She got high in front of her. She just kept getting high, kept buying, until she ran out of money. When she ran out of money and I seen that she was like, I left. Like the next day, 2 days later, we got the call saying that she was dead from my other fiend.
Not every scene was able to fit into this video, so to see a treasure trove of inside access to see things you can't find anywhere else on the internet, click my Patreon link. It is in the description. Good morning, everybody. It's 7:30 here. We're up early to see what the methadone clinics look like right now. Apparently there are lines around the corner. This is when everyone gets their dose of methadone, and we want to see what that's like. Opioid withdrawals are often so intense that they stop people from even trying to detox. But instead of enduring the agony of going cold turkey, many users turn to the synthetic opioid methadone. While some say it's just another drug for users to get hooked on, others celebrate methadone's ability to reduce substance cravings and withdrawal symptoms. And that's why you see all these people lined up here early in the morning at these methadone clinics. For some, it's their lifeline to recovery. About what time does the methadone clinic line start?
5 a.m. in the morning.
So people are up early?
Yeah.
So people are wondering, does methadone help the problem or hurt the problem?
It helps the problem. Hey, what's up, man?
What's going on, brother? What time do you guys get up and get ready to get in the line?
I get up anywhere from like 6 to 9 when there's no line.
When you first receive a dose of methadone, how do you feel after?
So it takes about 15 minutes for it to kick in, but after it kicks in, I feel like just relaxed, more or less.
The same, normal.
Like, is there a high or a buzz to it?
No buzz.
So would you say it helps your life?
Definitely, it honestly saved my life. I've been on drugs on and off for 10 years. I tried Suboxone, Sublocade, what's the other one, Vivitrol, all the shots.
Yeah.
And I've noticed methadone is the one that really helped me the most.
That's xylazine. That's what xylazine does, yeah.
That's from xylazine?
Yeah, that's all from xylazine.
My head too. See how tough?
I know people that sniffing to get it.
Yeah, that's what that's from too. I had one point with my shin bone here, right here, was showing through my skin, right here. And it's gotten to get that way again anyway, but all this is from xylazine. The back here, these cuts, this one here, I could put my finger through before. But yeah, nasty. A lot of holes. The nasty, see how? Prostitutes. All in here. Like,
How much did a rough childhood play a part in where you are today?
Huge. I went through the whole Catholic priest thing, and I will say that was the biggest thing that made me want to use.
I got started when I was 10. My brother was 5 years older. He got me selling weed by 10, and by 12 I was smoking crack and doing dope.
Where were your parents in all of this?
Too busy to give a fuck about us. My father just beat the shit out of us every day. And my mother kind of wished she never had us. She said it all the time. And she didn't even cry when my brother got murdered after he did 12 years in Walpole. What? She didn't cry at his funeral. I miss my brother every day.
Addiction has to do a lot of times with like untreated trauma or untreated anxiety and depression in your life. I mean, these people need mental health care. I don't know how these people manage to do it if they're living on the streets, no health insurance, no job, no supportive community. We've really got to meet them where they are. These people are people. Some of these are like the nicest, greatest people. A lot of them just had like really bad trauma or really bad losses in life or just bad luck. Getting them on medical therapy is the first step. And make sure they're not going to overdose. Get them on Suboxone, Methadone. But you have to get people housing. It's very difficult to stay in stable recovery if you don't have a stable place for housing.
What resources are out there to help you on your journey?
Oh, I can go into a program where people got mad drugs and just do them in there. There is no help.
So the biggest misconception is that we have these happy hedonists roaming around, whereas the people who are addicted are the most miserable people on the face of the earth, and they desperately need our help, care, and attention.
After you smoke crack, you get resin and you get a push. And unfortunately, this is this little bit will get you going and turn into a day of a devil chase. We're sitting here interviewing, but this is not something that's to be glorified. This is a disease that we're facing, and it's a mental trap. Unfortunately, this is what crack cocaine and drugs do to you. For anyone who's watching this, I would say, if you're not doing drugs, don't do them. But if you're doing them, do them the best, the safest way you can, and just try to stay conscious and stay strong, and eventually you'll get through it.
So what's the penalty if a cop sees this?
Nothing.
For context, we were across the street from a jail where inmates were cleaning up garbage and cop cars lined the street, and these users were openly using drugs without any concern for being caught.
Anywhere else, I swear, this is like a zone for where this is allowed.
We're literally next to a sheriff, and are you worried at all with having open stuff?
No, I would never hit you, don't worry. I'm precision with that thing.
Good to see you, brother.
Good to see you. My name's Matty, bro.
Nice to meet you. Here, walk and talk with me. We're doing a Methadone Mile documentary.
Exit, what's up, brother? Yeah. See all the big hitters out
right here.
Congratulations. Yeah, man.
Sober house.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
I heard.
This shit's wild out here, bro. So that's like a common thing, right? You'll see that all day, every day. You see how it is.
Tell me about, do you have a story with recovery or addiction?
Yeah, I did 17 years in prison, bro. I was in the max for 17 years. I started getting high up there, doing dope. When I got home, I was clean for about a year, and then
Your addiction started in prison?
Yeah, I shot dope for the first time in prison. It's crazy, right?
How hard is it to get in prison?
Your deal is next door. You know what I mean? They'll cuff it to you, do whatever.
So as a former user, taking away the tents, does that help the situation or hurt the situation?
Bro, in my opinion, they took people out of a secluded area and put them right on Front Street, bro.
Just hours ago, we saw plenty of tents and plenty of crowds out at Mass and Cass. We did talk with the mayor. She did say the city is making progress, but agrees more needs to be done. Boston Mayor Michelle Wu says things are better than a year ago with more people in permanent and transitional housing.
It's not the same as where we were a year ago with fortified encampments and people who have been truly residing on the streets for years at that point.
For the most part, I feel like these people are harmless, bro. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of, you know, mixing it up with the
Where do you
drugs.
put folks like this? What do you do with guys like that?
Man, it's hard, bro, because you go to the hospital and they'll kick you back. If you don't say you're suicidal, they're kicking you back out on the streets.
When I meditate, I inhale through my nose. In the streets, I exhale crack smoke and negativity through my mouth. Money feeds your ego, integrity makes you the man of the house. I'm not from Milwaukee, but since 13, I was chasing them bucks. Being mentally locked in is better than being physically locked up.
We're out here at Bedrock in front of a recovery center, and we're gonna talk to a guy that just hit 8 years sober today, and also show you inside a facility that someone might come to start that journey of recovery and sobriety. Tell the people who you are and why today is important.
So I'm mathematics, I'm a recovering alcoholic or an addict, recovering, gangster get money and stuff in the streets. And then now today, I'm also recovering from low self-esteem, low self-worth, low self-doubt, also addiction and alcoholism and criminal thinking. And so today I celebrate 8 years of recovery. And what makes me in recovery is because I work a program that's a thinking and a personality change.
What is your role in this facility?
So I'm a group specialist, and then I'm also an alumni coordinator, and I do community engagement. So I get people back into the facility if they need help.
You just gotta surrender. You can do it. You already did it for 8 months, so you know you can do it. You just gotta give yourself another shot.
3 years clean when I fucking went out.
Remember
I met you over the tent?
Yes.
You got this, you got this, you got this.
So pretend you just found me on Mass Ave. What am I going through today?
All right, so the first thing that would happen is you would come and do an intake inside of here. There'd be like a nurse. You get like some toiletries. And this is where they do the intake. They ask you like what you're detoxing from, a whole plethora of questions. And then the nurse clears you to go upstairs to either residential, if your urine's clean, if you're stable. But if you need a detox, you gotta go to detox for up to 8 days.
Seeing how nice this place is, it's hard for me to imagine choosing to stay in the street over coming here.
Yeah, but there's a mental obsession, and the mental obsession is so strong that, a mental obsession is a persistent, reoccurring thought that doesn't respond to logic or reason.
First of all, you're physically addicted, and it's miserable to come off the opiates, and that lasts for weeks. And then there's a psychological component. It's very difficult to get off opiates. When you get addicted, your sort of emotional connection unfortunately becomes with the drug itself, and you sort of tune out other people. So the minute you take the drug away, you're very lonely and you're just kind of stuck in this awful place.
So it'd be logical and reasonable to say that, but when that mental obsession, the grips of addiction are on you, it's all about the next one. We put this in front of our families, in front of our mothers, in front of our kids. I'll overdose, I'll rip the IV out my arm, and 2 minutes later I'll go call the dealer and get more of the stuff that'll almost just kill me. No fear, you can't scare an alcoholic or an addict. So I would come down to this methadone clinic, get my dose, and then after you get your dose, and then you walk up this way, and when I would start walking up this way, it would be to like sell pills, either buy some crack. Sometimes I would get high over here behind these trailers. So this is the infamous McDonald's. Before you could sell drugs out there in the open like it's going now before COVID, most of all the drugs were sold through the McDonald's right here.
What is the recovery rate? If they come in here for an 8-day treatment, what is the percentage chance they're gonna?
1 out of 10 make it to 30 days. 8 days isn't enough. Detox is grammar school, then 30-day treatments high school, then inpatient like 2 or 3 month treatments college, and IOP 5 is like master degree, IOP 3 is like PhD, and then going home right after detox is like trying to get a master's and a doctorate at the same time. So you're trying to go home with a grammar school education, but you're trying to pass doctorate and master's degree level classes, and that's why we have 13 alcoholics and addicts dying every hour.
Does harm reduction, does it help people or does it enable addiction?
So I had a bad vision of harm reduction before, but I think now the scope is we'd rather have the person alive on harm reduction than pass away. My only thing with harm reduction is most people get on it, but they struggle to get off. Most addicts and alcoholics, we only know how to start doing drugs and alcohol, but we don't know how to stop. So this is my office.
You got an office, man?
Yeah.
What is it like for your family and friends seeing you back in the day hustling, taking, using to, he has Post-it notes on his computer.
Oh, my mother's really proud of me. You know what I mean? She can sleep good at night. My kids are proud of me. I went from being a deadbeat dad to now I raise my daughter full time. Camp, after school programs, we spend time together. She comes to all my events. She's in the bulk of my videos. So it's just like, you know, I went from being a neglectful father to actually now being a nurturing father.
To uncover the origins of Methadone, we brought together a powerhouse of Boston legends. From Millie's, the rapper who's putting Massachusetts on the map, to Bean Shooter, a former addict and frequent flyer to prison, and now a guy who transformed himself and became an entrepreneur, comedian, and a source of inspiration for those in recovery. Together, we chartered a boat and sailed towards the remains of the missing Long Island Bridge, a key piece of infrastructure that we believe holds the key to understanding how Methadone came to be. So fellas, we're right by Long Island and Quincy. Tell me what this island means to you in your journey.
As far as I go, you know, I was always going out there to detox in Long Island or Andrew House Recovery on the island, which you could go out there to detox. They used to drive you over the bridge. They used to have these buses at night, and all the homeless people would line up, and it had a fenced-in area, and they'd bus them all over here at night, and then in the morning, you know, you'd go back. And then when they closed the island, they closed the detoxes, and the homeless were scattered all about, and they all ended up down on Mass Ave.
Tommy, this is where we can dock up right here.
So we're pulling up on the dock, the Long Island, Quincy. From what I understand, it's entirely abandoned. So we're gonna check it out, we're gonna investigate.
It's like some Shutter Island type shit.
We might have to hop a couple fences. Boston PD, you guys can come get me in Milwaukee, all right? Back behind these trees and all the way down, we had sober living homes, recovery homes, juvenile detention facilities, and this is where people would get bused back. They'd be going through detox, they'd go bus back from Boston to here. And so you had a contained population that weren't out on the streets. There's a ripple effect, there's a domino effect. One little thing leads to another, and it's crazy how one little bridge has led to hundreds and hundreds of people on the street, which has led to family members going missing, people living in tents on the street, and all because one little bridge started the domino effect.
It's a strange feeling being back here, you know. It just reminds me of, you know, being dope sick and going to detox, and it seems like another lifetime when I was coming out here all the time.
You think we're the only people on this island right now?
No, there's got to be someone else out here.
Ski! Ski! It feels almost like we're watching the decay of America in slow motion. I mean, 100%. We're this rich, prosperous country, but we have these cities with all these addicts on the street. We have abandoned buildings with wooden boards over the windows. It's almost embarrassing because when most countries think of America, they don't think of this.
Everybody says we want to help addicts, we want to do this. And me opening sober homes, I found this firsthand until it goes into your neighborhood. Then we want money for addiction, just not in my fucking backyard.
To dig deeper on what the path of sobriety looks like, we head with Bean Shooter back to his stomping grounds of Lowell, a city near Boston, to visit his home and his sober house, to speak with the fellows there and get their insights on a path to a drug-free life.
That's my prison mugshot, actually.
What'd you go away for this one?
That one was trafficking over 100 pounds of marijuana.
That was when you did business with the cartel?
Yeah.
Did that make you nervous?
No, not really. They were good to me. They're good people. So when I got custody of my daughter, it was only 2 bedrooms, me and my father, and that was my bedroom. I had to make a bedroom up here, which is like a prison cell. This is how I live. Tommy, don't believe it. Look at the obligatory ice pick next to the bed. This is when I'm gonna climb down the ladder to piss at night. I'm a real fucking Viking.
You really did piss that every
Sometimes I have to, Tommy, you know? Sometimes I have no fucking choice.
Over your lifetime, how much time did you spend in prison?
I've been asked that a lot. About 13, 14 years.
That's a long ass time.
Yeah, but on the installment plan. Oh, this is my first sober house I bought. Want to see the house inside?
Yeah.
That's me. That's my old
Doing time like a gentleman since 1985.
Yeah, too.
Was part of your journey getting sober in a sober house like this?
Oh, I've been in a bunch of them, but when I got sober last time was in Deerfield Beach, Florida, and I was in a sober house, and I remember getting in there and I'm like, wait a minute, there's 6 guys in here paying $150 a week, that's $900 a week, that's fucking $3,600 a month in this little fucking ranch, right? And because I've always been a numbers guy, you know, selling drugs and doing whatever, and that was when I first got the idea, wow, you make money and you're helping people. Like anybody will tell you that's a recovering addict, helping another addict helps me.
So guys here, how long have they been sober for?
Everyone's different. I mean, I got a guy who's been here almost 4 years. You know, I get some guys who got out of detox a month ago. So and then sometimes people relapse. I had a guy recently who just relapsed. I saw him and I knew he was high. You know, they can try to lie to me and I'm like, oh, I'll take a urine right now. And I'm just like, hey, listen, you already failed it. If you already failed the eyeball test, like I'm not even gonna waste a fucking cup on you. And 99% of the time they'll be like, all right, you know. Recently, I came here just like this. We were right here on the porch, and Bundy went in, and I says, oh, go in and get so-and-so, Jason. And I heard him scream, get the Narcan. And I'd been open 5 years. I'd never had anybody die in my house. And I ran in, and I touched him, and he was ice cold. I just said, fucking, you can put the Narcan away, you know. He's gone, and that sucked. The family came, and I had to talk with them. And the kid had been here a while, 2 years, and he became a friend, you know. I was with him all the time, and I felt guilt over it, like, I dropped the ball, and then I talked to his brother, and his brother said, yeah, I know he got high a couple times. He'd been here so long, I was comfortable with him. I hadn't urined him for a couple of weeks, because usually at least once a week I'll urine you. And I felt like, you know, I kind of dropped the ball on that one. See someone die in the house, it sucks, so we try to keep that from happening again.
So Lopez, tell me, how far into your journey of sobriety are you?
Right now, I came here November 6th of last year, but my recovery is good. You know, it's been a struggle and a roller coaster.
How many days in are you?
Altogether, since last year, it would have been 10 months.
Just driving around here, even a few blocks around here, there's a lot more people out in the park. I'd imagine if your number one goal is to be sober and then you're surrounded by people that are using 2 blocks away, 3 blocks away, does it make that journey difficult?
No, because sometimes, you know, when I leave out of here, I pray, I say, God, you know, just lead me in the right path. And I go from here straight to the recovery cafe. You know, I don't like to pass through the park today because they all know me. I know everybody from Lowell. And, you know, it breaks my heart just to see a lot of my friends on active addiction and I can't do nothing about it, you know.
How many people do you think you've lost to fentanyl?
I've lost a lot, over 30 at least. I've seen a lot of dead people in my life, man. A lot of faces that I'm always dreaming about. You get traumatized, man. Look at that guy's colors, blue and gray. I mean, it's just sad, you know.
Lopez, thank you for sharing your story, man. We wish you the best on your journey, okay?
All right, man.
You manage a sober living house. What are the biggest hurdles keeping 12 other people in this house sober?
They go out, they do their thing, they come back in here, and a lot of them, they start drinking, they start doing whatever, dope, whatever. And I'll try to work with it. You go to rehab for a couple weeks. If not, you get the fuck out.
So have you had to kick someone out before?
Yeah.
A taxpayer might say, why am I funding addicts getting free needles, free pipes when I can barely pay rent? What do you think about that?
I don't know, it's almost like you're encouraging. I don't know, it's a 50-50. It can go swing both ways.
Mr. Kranowski. So how long you been sober now?
So now, it's getting close to three years.
He's the manager of my other sober house. So Bundy's the manager of this one, Brian's the manager of my other one.
It was the perfect place for me. This is good stuff. A lot of good stuff goes on here. I got my old job back. I beat the case. They told me beat the case. You get your job back. I got my old job back. Just bought a car. First time in 15 years, probably 20 years. I'm making moves right now. Making moves.
Yeah.
So basically, we had these big corporate companies like Purdue Pharma, the Sackler family, pushing tons of this stuff out. Then people are starting to get, that starts the addiction journey. None of them ever went to jail. None of them ever got in trouble. They're still very rich. And meanwhile, millions of Americans now are
ruined so many lives, yeah.
What do you guys think about that?
They should be fucking hung by their balls. It's corporate greed.
Gentlemen, hey, I just want to say, I wish you guys the best on your journey. Thank you for sharing your story. Take care. It's honestly fucked up that Big Pharma can run amok, racking up billions in profit and leaving a trail of millions of misery in their wake. Also, a few top shareholders can pop a cork from their stupid yacht. I wish we had politicians that actually represented the people and protected Americans from companies that care nothing for their impact on the world, but only for their financial bottom line. But perhaps I'll address that in a future episode when one day this channel goes on an absolute fucking rampage exposing Big Pharma. And while we all are aware that some shadowy corporate villains are in our crosshairs, let's end this episode by celebrating the local heroes striving to make a difference. Exit Fame, Mathematics, and Bean Shooter. I have their Instagrams tagged in the description. Please blow them up with positive messages. And finally, to the people out there struggling to be sober. La cartel tiene poder en este lado de frontera. So what's the most you ever made in a week doing this?
I've made 100,000
in a week.
In one day.
Fentanyl is a synthetic opioid that is 50 times stronger than heroin and 100 times stronger than morphine. Fentanyl is often included in other street drugs like cocaine. It makes the drugs cheaper, more potent, addictive, and dangerous. Users of these different street drugs usually are not aware that fentanyl is in the substance that they are buying.
Hello, I'm Tommy G. I'm a documentary filmmaker, and I spend much of my time diving into the underworld. Today, we take a look into the world of drugs and drug overdoses. America has more drug overdoses than any country on earth, by a lot. For the last few decades, we could point to crack, heroin, and meth as the usual suspects in this overdose tragedy. But in the last few years, a new drug has entered the scene to devastating effect: fentanyl.
Americans ages 18 to 45, the leading cause of death now isn't a car crash or a heart attack, it's a fentanyl overdose.
This is the single deadliest drug threat our nation has ever faced. Fentanyl overdoses kill more than 150 people each day.
Investigators seized nearly 35,000 fentanyl pills, more than $300,000 in cash, and a number of guns and vehicles.
300,000 fentanyl pills and 11 pounds of fentanyl powder vacuum sealed and stuffed inside the gas tank of an SUV.
Deputies in Alabama raced to save a 1-year-old who allegedly was overdosing on fentanyl.
Fentanyl killed over 73,000 people in 2022, making it by far the most fatal drug in our country. As far as I can tell, there are a few main reasons contributing to the rise of fentanyl. First, the supply. There seem to be no consequences for the Chinese manufacturers making the drug, and their Mexican cartel business partners have been wildly successful at taking advantage of our poorly defended borders. The next issue we face is how much of our illegal drug supply is now being cut with fentanyl. In the drug dealer world, this is referred to as being stomped on. After speaking with many drug dealers, I found that most dealers have no idea how much of their product has fentanyl cut into it. Lastly, it takes an insanely small dose of fentanyl to kill somebody. It's been reported that as little as 2 milligrams are a fatal dose. That's as big as a few grains of salt. The main focus of this documentary will be coming to understand fentanyl's journey to and through America, how it starts in China, how it goes through Mexico, the process of smuggling it across the border.
Was narcotics stuffed inside a car engine that somehow was still running?
How local dealers move it, how it makes its way across the country through our very own Postal Service, and finally, the devastation it's causing in cities across the country. Folks, this is the journey of fentanyl through America. We head to the border town of Nogales, where we speak to a fentanyl dealer that can give us the ins and outs of how the drug is smuggled across the border. Here's what we learned. These cars have been impounded by Border Patrol, and they're giving you a warning that there's fentanyl within these cars right now.
¿Cómo estás?
Bien, ¿y tú?
Aquí nomás.
Mi primera pregunta es ¿qué son las maneras o rutas que fentanyl llega a América?
Puedes ver las chaquetas aquí, se brinca, por aquí vienen los azules, mira, está al otro lado, ahí está un lookout, mira.
This dealer seemed really paranoid about Mexican cartel members wanting to snipe us or shoot us across the border. I don't know how much of it was nonsense, but he was getting me paranoid too. I'm a little nervous right now. I'm gonna ask him about this, but there's snipers or shooters. Border Patrol warned us, like,
guys in the south side, they don't give a shit about your channel. They want to make money. So if you're in their way,
we're not crossing.
Okay.
I'm a bit nervous.
The car that pulled in has a Sinaloa license plate.
Cuando fuimos caminando, ¿sientes ojos en nos?
Todo el mundo te está mirando, todo el mundo está trabajando. Ahorita la frontera, como viste, está caliente ahorita.
¿La cartel tiene poder en este lado de frontera?
Por todos lados está Chicago, Nueva York, tienen poder por todos lados.
Ellos tienen el poder a asesinato en Estados Unidos.
Sí, te pueden tirar balazos por la frente donde estábamos parados y tú pueden tirar balazos por ahí.
El primero ruta que Fentanyl viene a Estados Unidos es por hombres que caminantes, son los otras maneras.
Si no, a veces cruzan por el Río Grande, ahí también pueden cruzar por la frontera con el carro.
Ellos capturaron.
Agarraron ese carro, como puedes ver.
Policía, Border Patrol. Sí. ¿Qué piensas sobre esto?
No, pues nomás agarraron uno, van a ver más. Tumban uno, van a pasar 10.
¿Piensas que tienes un trabajo nervioso?
Sí, mucho nervioso. Aquí hay mucha gente de la frontera, aquí, mucho Border Patrol, policías. Entonces todo el mundo se pone nervioso.
¿Qué es la castigada si tú estás caught?
Pues a uno lo mete por años, depende, 20 años, 15 años, depende de la persona que agarren, con qué te agarran. Todo depende. Ahorita hay mucho demanda ahorita para los azules. Todo el mundo lo quiere en Chicago, Nueva York. Los precios están subiendo de todo.
Para este trabajo necesita comunicar mucho con el cartel.
Sí, mucho se tiene que comunicar, por eso sacarles radio, no cell phones, nada de eso.
Tengo mucho miedo cuando pienso sobre el cartel. ¿Qué es para tú?
El cartel no es mal, el cartel nomás quiere ayudar a gente, nomás queremos darle de comer a nuestra familia y es todo.
Hay muchas ciudades en Estados Unidos que afectan sobre los azules. ¿Qué sientes sobre esto?
No tienes que sentir como si nada, si nomás es trabajo, nos pagan y es todo.
¿Es peligroso para tú hablar conmigo?
Sí, es muy peligroso. Ahorita pueden tirar balazos de ahí, de la frontera por acá.
¿Es la verdad que millones de azules entran a la frontera todo el día?
Millones de pastillas pasan por la frontera, por carros, por venes, de todo.
¿Es la droga más popular a vender, like heroin nada más, crack nada más?
Fentanyl es número uno, azules son el número uno ahorita.
It's just interesting to hear it from the dealer perspective, because everyone plays a little chain in the story. There's the Chinese chemist, there's the cargo ship operator that brings it over here, there's the guy at the port, there's the guy in the cartel that, hey, if he doesn't do it, maybe they get his family. There's a guy that brings it to the border, there's a guy that crosses the border, there's a guy that sells it into the border, and somehow ends up in the hands of the addict. We just talked to a guy that gets it over the border. Now we're going to talk to a local dealer and see the differences in the game there. I wanted to see how local street dealers were interacting with fentanyl. So we went to Tucson, Arizona at a very sketchy motel to hear it from the dealers themselves. Here's what they said.
Oh my gosh.
This place is sketch heaven, huh? How have you seen blues change the game?
Drastically. It was like $25, $30 like 5-6 years ago. Now that shit $1, knocking everybody off. I got family members died from that shit.
If I buy $1,000 worth of fentanyl, how much can I flip that for if I'm selling it piece by piece?
Depending on how much you get your bills and pills for, times that by the dollar, I mean, $1 times 1,000 pills. Come here, G. I see people bang out 2 pills at a time. So it's like you figure they get dope shit every hour or so. They're doing at least 1 to 2 pills every hour to 2 hours. As soon as they go to sleep, they don't nod out, but they don't really go to sleep. They come back up right away. They'll come back up like on the morning.
People don't sleep much on fentanyl.
They be not at all. They be like this. They don't be sleep, you know what I mean? They'll be like that, but they'll be awake.
We got a presidential election coming up in 2024. Do you think the border and fentanyl should be at the top of the list for priorities for the next president?
These people want it, so it's gonna come down to the people. It don't matter who you vote for. But it's suburb kids too that die off the shit. They come to the hood and then it's too much because their body's not immune to that, so they don't react the same. You feel me? Corner of one pill can be, get to the very end of that pill, That's the part that now if you're popping the whole thing, you're putting it in your body all at once. Now if you're smoking it, you do a little, and you chill. A little, and you chill. It's not a whole just boom. That's what's these people. It's because these kids is popping them.
You guys know that?
And it don't matter who we know, maybe
You guys ever feel bad for a customer?
I can't speak personally on that, but that's none of my business. Dog, that shit have people by the balls. Like, they have them a whole different person, out of character. That's right. Going against family, going against loyalty, going against their morals. You can't help but to lose respect, dog. That shit's hard not to. Like, I know it ain't a damn thing that I do, so make them stop. That's their choice, you know what I mean? Yeah, so I know when you put it today, man.
So if you were the U.S. president, would you put pressure on China to say, hey, cut down on that shit being manufactured in your country?
I'm like a conspiracy theorist and all. Yeah, me too. I don't believe that. I think never gonna stop this big business.
You think it's being made here?
Oh no, I know it's not being made here within the country.
Mexico?
Not everybody knows. Who knows the government ain't in on it too?
Where do you guys view yourself on the scale of good and evil?
Hard to go.
We're gonna take you guys to the next part of this journey in this fentanyl world. We hit the road to Phoenix to revisit the Zone. The Zone was one of the biggest homeless camps in America, but it recently got cleaned up by local law enforcement and the city after lots of angry Phoenix residents rallied together to get the homeless people off the streets. This is one of the hot spots of fentanyl in the country. Let's talk to the people on the street. Fault? Is it the Chinese guy that's making it? Is it the Mexican guy that's selling it? Is it the dealer? Is it the user?
Chinese.
Can you tell people a little about your story and how you ended up on the street?
Man, I got to the street when my wife passed away.
How long ago was that?
When I got out of prison, about 7 years ago.
You got out of prison, your wife passed away. Yeah. Man, what's your drug of choice?
Spice.
Spice? That's a crazy one. I did spice when I was a teenager. How much does a spice habit cost a day?
$5.
There's people that they pay their taxes and they're mad that it goes to homelessness and addiction and drug addiction. What do you think about that?
We work for it.
You pay your taxes? How do you pay your taxes?
By working.
What do you do?
A regular job.
When did you notice it sweeping through the city or changing the city?
Like 4 years ago, maybe.
Do you think there should be harsher penalties for dealers? Do you think there should be more resources for the people addicted to it?
Resources for the people addicted to it.
Have you had any loved ones or any family members affected by fentanyl?
A lot.
And what is that like?
That's horrible. Sad. I was an addict too, but...
How did you shake it?
Just going to rehab.
Do you know people that have died from fentanyl?
Mm-hmm. Like probably like 30.
30 people?
Yeah, a lot.
How has it been being an employee where there's people on fentanyl all the time?
It's just kind of part of society. I don't know, it's pretty sad.
How many years did this go back?
Probably like the last 5 years.
Yeah? How bad has it gotten?
Really bad. The other day when I was going to the bathroom, there was like one of those pills on the floor and there's a little kid running around. It's just sad because he could have picked it up, you know. I'm just glad I found it before he did, you know. We met both of you about 6-8 months ago. The Zone was a completely different place.
The blues is ruining America and it's ruining, and that's why I say that shit. El Chapo, you feel me? They should have released him though. He told him, y'all don't release me, I'm gonna release the blue-eyed demon upon the world. They should have released him.
The first time we visited the Zone was back in early part of 2023. This was our first time getting to see what fentanyl was doing to a city, and we wanted to learn more, but we had no idea where to look. Luckily, we met a resident of the Zone who went by Miss Lady, and when she heard we were asking about fentanyl, she went around the corner to her dealer and came back with a handful of fentanyl and crystal meth. Here's how that conversation went.
I just buried my daughter last month.
Because of fentanyl?
From an accident overdose.
They said when you smell popcorn, that's when the blue is lit.
Sometimes.
Do you know anyone that can show us what it looks like?
What a blue looks like?
Yeah.
No, because ain't no one going to be brave enough. Oh, there you go.
That's it right there.
Yeah.
So that's fentanyl.
Yeah.
And how do you use like a
They
pill?
can smoke it.
No,
you can shoot
yourself.
So that's enough to overdose on?
Yeah.
And how much do they need to get high?
One hit.
Like how much is that? They're like a tiny little crumble?
Like a they cost up to $30.
That one pill is $30.
Sometimes.
And how long does that last somebody?
Like 5 minutes. Okay, my daughter was a methamphetamine user. At Christmas, she told me that she wasn't getting high anymore off of the meth, so she switched to crack cocaine. Well, she got some bad shit. So on a Friday, she overdosed.
It was laced with fentanyl.
And that crack cocaine was laced with fentanyl.
I'm gonna take you guys to go contribute some fentanyl.
That all is for 20 bucks.
Yeah, I have a hookup. This many pills can get your sucked.
Are sucks a common currency around here?
I don't know, you're a man. Any man wants his sucked.
So this is where I sleep at mostly, but it's really an extra space for people that might need it, like coming through or just need a spot for the night.
You welcome anybody or what?
Yeah, pretty much.
Have you ever said no to a guest?
No.
How long have you been here, ma'am?
8 months, I think. About as long as he's been here.
What do you think of this place?
It sucks.
How has it changed?
They wiped all the tents out, road by road.
The city of Phoenix cleaned out the final block of the zone.
There used to be over 1,000 people in this area. Where have they gone?
But most of them sheltered. A lot of them spread out through the city. Some of them still here.
Different motels and shelters?
Yeah.
How come you guys haven't joined them?
I was the last man standing. I just couldn't leave and be in a hotel with my friends here. It was still intense.
What impact has fentanyl had on the city?
Devastating. It's the city's worst nightmare. I stopped, thank God, that I almost died from it, to where now that was good enough for me not to do them no more.
Do you guys have loved ones, friends, family that have died from fentanyl?
I do, yes.
How many people do you think you've known that have died from fentanyl? 3
here and 1 was relative.
So who's to blame in this chain? There's the Chinese laboratory that makes them, and there's the end user, the addict. Who is to blame in that chain?
Ourselves.
If your family watches this, is there any message you'd have to them?
I'm okay. I don't like where I'm at, but this is what I'm living with right now, and this is where I'll be.
Do you have kids?
I do. I have 2, 130 and 135.
Is there anything in particular you'd say to them? I
still love y'all. I'm sorry you have to see me like this, but it's just a choice that I've made.
Hey guys, the experience was awesome. I think everybody that was here or will be here, I think it's a choice that they make. I don't think anybody forced to be here, and I'm definitely not. To my sons and to my ex-wife and them that worry about me and care about me. The last place I had, there was a fire. Everything was burned, but the only thing was left, a Bible in a pocket with the Bible, was still working and undamaged. And that was a light and my keys. And that gave me hope.
They're supplying pipes to people.
Pipes and syringes and everything else. It's a van, it pull up. So I don't understand that. Half of these motherfuckers gone because of that shit. I would believe. I would stay here too if I was an addict. The people that's here, they race to that van. The van here.
Like, my boyfriend been homeless since he's been 11 years old. His mom was a piece of shit. When he came to the zone, like 3 years ago, he made a home for himself.
Do you know what kind of childhood trauma he experienced?
Abused by women. His mom used to let her homegirls sexually abuse him and things like that. She'll make him go commit crimes so she can get money and stuff like that.
Is there anyone, a specific person you have in mind that you would like to send a message to that might watch this?
I want to send a message to my kid. All 3 of them, but it's not easy here. But I know that I have to fight on my own. And when I get done, they will see my face. And for my auntie and my mama and Lexus, y'all can kiss my ass.
I had a good mom. My mom raised me in the church. She did a good job. I did wrong on my own. Yeah, I just went to jail because a friend of mine got shot, and they took me to jail because they said me and my boyfriend know who shot him, and that's why I got an ankle monitor. Now I gotta go do 4.5 years in prison.
You have to go do 4.5 years?
For conspiracy theory on a murder, and I didn't do it.
You're guaranteed going to prison?
Oh yeah, but that's because my other charges.
Last time we were here, Joe's business was surrounded by people, so we're here to pay an old friend a visit and catch up with Joe, the sandwich shop owner. How are you doing?
Good.
Last time we were here about 8 months interviewing you, and the place was surrounded.
Right.
What's changed since we last talked to you?
The judge said, get out.
And what do you think about that?
See my smile? See your smile?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I really like to be safe. You know, to come to work and feel safe. Feel safe for my girls. But when I go shopping and I leave, I want them to be safe. And there's some crazy people that are high on drugs. So at least there's hope, and at least have been doing a great job.
So no more people pooping in front of your restaurant? That's gotta be a relief.
It's a miracle.
We're gonna tuck in and eat, and we'll see you guys in the next part of this journey. How much does it cost a day to keep the blues going?
I can do like 10 a day, but the more you smoke, the more serious it gets because the addiction gets stronger. And I have known certain people that could be sick up until 40 pills a day.
That's a lot of pills.
Yeah, you think they're overdose, but you know, your body adjusts to it.
How hard is it to find blues around here?
It's not hard, but you gotta keep coming up with the money.
How much does it cost for one dose, one hit?
Well, right now it's starting to cost like $3 a pill.
How long have you been doing fentanyl?
Not that long, just a year maybe.
By the city dropping off tinfoil and pipes to people, do you think that's helping or hurting addicts?
I think that it helps.
Yeah? How so?
Because you can maintain a certain amount of dignity with the cleanliness.
I was very curious to see how fentanyl was making its way around the country, so I met with a dealer that went by the name The Postman to see how he was using the U.S. Postal Service to send thousands of fentanyl pills to cities all around the country. This is what he had to say. So I'm Tommy, I'm here with...
So man, this is the postman, the local postman.
One of the things that we're covering in this video is how fentanyl, the blue pill, makes it all around to American cities across the country. How many drugs do you think go through the post office every year?
It's easy to get at least about 1 million pills through. It all depends on who you go to and who is going through.
All right, let's see how this is done. So how long have you been in this business?
2 years.
Does it make you nervous?
It gets me nervous, but you know, a lot of people do this. You know, a lot of this pays the bill, so you know, people gotta do it. So you need your box like this. Usually you put a towel. Basically, you put it in there like this and get your box. Product in hand, boats.
How much will you pick up and how much do you send through the mail?
It depends on how many they need. These are 1,000. 1,000 is a boat.
1,000 pills?
Yes, 1,000 pills. So we can sell 5,000, 10,000. It all depends on the customer what they're trying to receive.
So how much can you pick up 1,000 pills for?
You can get the pills anywhere from 900 for 5,000 to, you know, $6,000. It all depends who you are and where you're at.
You're basically a wholesaler.
Yes.
You don't have to go to the individual little customers. You just go to another big dog in another city.
Yep.
And what do you flip it for?
It depends where I'm at. If I'm in New York, out there they're selling for $60 each.
A pill?
A pill, $60 each a pill. So you could charge $10,000 for 5 of them.
On the flip side, there's people that are out in the street. Their whole life is dedicated to fentanyl. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about your impact?
We've talked to people out in the street. People don't want to quit. There's some people that rather do this. There's people that don't want to. There's some people that don't want to get no help. This is their way out. A lot of people say fentanyl's killing the streets. There's some people that'll tell you fentanyl's saving them.
So do you have any sort of moral anxiety about what you do?
No, not really.
We got it in a safety deposit box. So you send the key separately?
It depends. It's all on request. If the customer needs it, we will send the key. It's usually in the box. You can cover up the box just so it don't make no noise. Gets past the post office. You can dump your local shampoo. It's just like Walmart. Whatever they order, you send it. Just like this. What you do next is you go ahead and close it up.
I'm assuming you're not putting the dealer's address on the...
No, we use different addresses, different names. If he feels comfortable like that, we'll send it to his address, and now we'll get another address.
Is the biggest thing standing in your way a dog?
So much of this comes through the border that I'm not worried about a dog. If they take 1 box, guess what? 10 boxes made it there.
Do you know anything about the journey of fentanyl? Do you know from starting in China to going through Mexico, do you know anything about how it makes it through?
Usually they're saying a lot of people get it from China just to throw the U.S. off, but the way they make it in Mexico right now, they usually make it out in the fields, you know.
So what's the most you ever made in a week doing this?
I've made 100,000.
In a week?
In 1 day.
Is this through Cash App? Is this, how do you even get that kind of money?
Sometimes they can fly out here, come see you in person. They can send you the money, they can mail you the money. It all depends how they want to do it.
How long do you see yourself doing this for?
A couple more times, you know, I'm trying to open up a lucrative business, get out of this, but...
It sounds like you're looking at it the way a local bar owner would, where if you serve the drinks, it's up to them what they want to do with them, and it's not necessarily your fault if they drink till they die or do the blues till they die. Is that kind of how you feel about it?
Yeah, exactly.
So if you could talk to the mother of someone that's out in the streets and they're worried about their son who's on fentanyl, what would you say to that mother?
I know a couple mothers that their kids been on fentanyl. It's not always about just selling it to them. Sometimes we try to help out too. But, you know, some of these people, they don't want no help. Man, they want to do this shit.
So basically they're not buying it from you, they'll buy it from someone else.
Yeah, they're going to buy it from somebody else. I mean, might as well just go in my pocket. and you put the name and the address, you contact your customer, and it's on the way, buddy.
Like, it's really hard to make money. So when you think that you can spend about $1,000, send this through the mail, I guess it's easy to see why people are into it. We're gonna make it to the next stop of this story. We'll see you guys in the next scene. We head next to a city that's been particularly impacted by fentanyl, Baltimore. When you visit a city like this and talk to the dealers, talk to the people, you come to realize fentanyl is replacing crack and heroin. That's what the people are asking for, that's what the dealers are selling. But in Baltimore, they do something interesting. They mix the fentanyl with horse tranquilizer, making a drug called trank. And that's where you see the people knotted out, swaying in the wind. It sort of makes a human zombie. Let's hit the streets and see it for ourselves.
Baltimore. Its official motto is the Charm City, but that can be hard to find. Drug use litters this place. A decade ago, heroin was the main killer. Now it's the powerful synthetic substance, fentanyl.
The reason I came out here was because I'm an addict. I'm originally from Carroll County, so it was easier to obtain drugs at a cheaper price. I was in treatment. I was living out Frederick at a place called Salad Ground. I was actually 2 years clean. I relapsed, so I came out here with the expectation to continue using.
How long ago was that you relapsed?
This was exactly April last year.
Damn, man.
I shoot up, right? Yeah. The only place I can actually go is in my neck. All my veins basically have collapsed or they don't work.
Does it feel like a hole that's almost impossible to get out of?
Oh, definitely. They're trying to like mask some kind of pain that they're bearing. For me, it was losing my 2 children. I lost them about 7 years ago. I signed off my parental rights so they'd have a good life. And I'm glad I did because I ended up going to jail for 2 years, pretty much.
I see you have different things on your skin. Is that from using?
These are scars right here. But like right here, that's from using drugs.
How much money do you need a day to survive?
I have a $12 a day habit.
How many times a day do you use?
Twice. I use right when I wake up in the morning. Usually I'll save something from the night previous. When you use, you stop feeling the euphoria from it, but you'll still get the call, meaning like you'll still feel that warm sensation, and it's just a temporary cushion of comfortability.
What's the most common drugs to be found around here?
Heroin and crack.
How'd you get to here?
Everybody that ends up here gets stranded here.
So do you feel stuck right now?
Almost.
How much money do I need to find drugs around here?
I don't know. It's if you can find them. I mean, not everybody's friendly. It's common.
Is it dangerous being a woman out here?
100%. I've been in alleys. I've been out at gunpoint in alleys. I've been held hostage 3 times.
And in Baltimore, we meet with a man named Nick, an addiction specialist who literally spends his days walking into abandoned buildings looking for people struggling with addiction to invite into treatment and recovery. Let's talk to him and get his perspective on the matter. What's the odds in staying clean for 30 days and what's the odds that they are able to get out of the hole that they're in?
I hit up like 300 some people. I'll probably get 2 to 3 people that actually go up off the streets into treatment. Wow. Some people will go in for a day or 2, get antsy, leave. Some people will be in there 30 days, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. You can watch the whole spirit and being change. You know what I'm saying? It's like watching somebody go from being like Caterpie to Butterfree. You know what I'm saying? Like the Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
For the next part of the journey, we head to San Francisco, and there's something different about San Francisco when we are there. Usually it is a complete madhouse, and it still is to an extent, but it was cleaned up because the week we went there was the week of APEC, which is the week that Asian leaders come to the table and talk business. In particular, Xi Jinping of China, and I think it's interesting that he has seen a cleaned up version of San Francisco, given that it's his Chinese export of fentanyl that's really wreaking havoc on the city. Let's check out San Francisco.
Will draw global leaders from 21 member economies. It's San Francisco's biggest international event in decades.
How you doing? Welcome to San Francisco, brother.
Thank you.
Our area right here in Soma and the Tenderloin really has not changed too much at all, besides the tents being removed. That really, the tents were the only thing.
Did this street used to be covered in tents?
This side of the street over there was covered with tents. I just think that a lot of it has to do with these nonprofits that are making money off of the homeless individuals. So instead of trying to fix the problem by getting them the substance abuse counseling that they need, they are actually enabling it to manage the problem problem so they can keep collecting their money. This individual right here is just asleep, nodded out on fentanyl most likely. A lot of these black bags that these individuals are carrying around, those black undiscreet bags, come from this place called the Harm Reduction, the Needle Exchange down on 6th Street. I'll show you guys. They give out a lot of utensils and paraphernalia to drug addicts that are struggling. It doesn't really help them. It's actually enabling them and keeping them in this cycle of using.
One thing we came to learn was that nonprofits in cities like San Francisco are handing out pipes, tinfoil, basically the entire kit you need to smoke fentanyl minus the fentanyl itself. And the question is that a good use of our tax dollar? Is that an appropriate solution to this problem?
If you went in there right now without the cameras, you could get whatever supplies you want. You should try that.
Needles and pipes.
You can, for free.
What is it like trying to run a business around here?
My business is adapted. I mean, as you saw, we don't let people in the store. It was a COVID precaution, so pushing people towards the front was a COVID thing. As we've adapted, it turns out to be a really effective way to keep people outside. So there's not a lot of theft. Now, my store has been burglarized. That doesn't keep you protected from being burglarized. Today, obviously, it's a nice clear day, right? So there's been a lot of impact with Apex. And my curiosity mainly lies with the city's inability to keep it clean for any long period of time.
Do you think taxpayer money that's giving out free pipes or free foils is enabling or helping?
It's ineffective. Yeah, it doesn't work. I think I'm past the point of anger. It's sad.
You know, you have so many fentanyl poisonings. Somebody is taking a pill. They think it's Percocet. They think it's Vicodin. They think it's Xanax or something like that.
You think that's from a mission or a shelter?
Correct. Yeah, that's from.
So someone left their food on the ground.
Correct. They'll get a couple trays and then they just don't even want to eat it. I know 3 people that have been poisoned by fentanyl, where they were either doing coke or they thought they were doing Percocets and it actually had fentanyl in it and them. It has gotten people looking just very debilitated.
My first reaction to seeing needles and pipes being handed out to people that are struggling with addiction by the nonprofits made me angry, but then I considered it from their point of view. According to San Francisco paper, The City Journal, in 2018, San Francisco's Department of Health distributed 4.5 million needles to the city's 22,000 drug users. Initially, I found it shocking that nonprofits would provide drug users with the tools to do the job. However, these harm reduction facilities play a large role in minimizing the side effects that come with illicit drug use, especially with bloodborne illnesses like HIV and AIDS. A facility called Insight in Vancouver, Canada is one example of this. A 2011 study by the University of British Columbia found that this facility led to a 35% decrease in overdose deaths. One way to think about these harm reduction centers is similar to free condoms that many colleges provide on campus. You know the students are going to have sex, so you might as well stop them from unintended pregnancies. These nonprofits are using the same philosophy with the drug users. You know they're going to do it, you might as well make it clean and stop the spread of disease. Food for thought. Back to the video.
Hey fellas, is there a harm reduction site up here?
They give the needles and the tinfoil right on 6th Street, right?
I've never been to that one.
Oh, okay, where do you go?
I go to 10th Street, 123 10th Street, and they give you like needles, bubbles.
But like that tin foil?
Yeah, they give foil, pipes, and needles.
This type of stuff is littered all over our city.
What is that?
These are individual cotton balls that they roll up for the addicts so they can draw the drugs up through it and filter it. This is the type of thing that our tax money is going to, and it's despicable, man. But this is it right here. The Harm Reduction Center program was going to be closed November 14th to 17th. Well, you guys just missed it. So when you go into this harm reduction site, do they give you help or do they just give you needles?
Here they got needles, they got
Let me see those. What are those, the easy touch ones?
They got needles, they got pipes and shit. They got wipes and shit. They got things you could need in the canisters. They have hygiene and shit.
How helpful is the clean needles to your life?
They're very helpful.
So we're shooting a documentary. We're just trying to figure out, as far as public health, what do you guys try to offer the services for the people that are out here?
I would refer you to talk to our medical director.
The thing that I find really odd is every time we talk to the people that are getting funded by the taxpayers, no one wants to talk about it at all. No one wants to be the one that says anything on camera.
I think that they would like to talk on camera, possibly. But you should
just set up and that.
What'd you just give her right there? What is that?
Pipe? Yeah.
Pipe?
Yeah.
That is absolutely wild that you would enable this individual when they are struggling with addiction that bad, that you'd give them a pipe like that. You guys should be ashamed of yourself. You're not helping to spread any disease by giving a person a pipe. That is crazy.
It is amazing that you would give someone that is conversating with the air right now, you would give them the right materials to get it high again.
Yeah.
That seems
unethical in so many ways.
If you touch my shit up in here, I'm telling your little ass, you best to get the truck in.
You're living a very successful, happy life now, but at one time you were on the streets in the Tenderloin?
I was out here on the streets from here, San Jose to Stockton. And I used to be one of these guys out here selling drugs, doing drugs. Yeah. So I was a part of this lifestyle for almost 20 years. I went in and out of prison for 5 times. I couldn't stay out of the street for more than 90 days.
Really?
Yes.
Congratulations, brother. What was the pivot moment where you switched from, hey, I'm gonna be the prison guy and the street guy to the guy you are now?
It was in the cell on the level 4 yard in 2019 when I literally got transferred. I was kicking off all kinds of drugs, and I sat there and started hallucinating in a way where I was seeing myself basically dying, right? And if I continue on the process where I was at, I was gonna die, either OD or get 3 strikes. And I can literally see my family coming to my funeral like, what are they gonna say about me? My whole life up until that point, I was in and out of jail and prison my whole life. A smart man will learn from his mistakes, but a wise man will learn from someone else's mistakes.
I've been held at gunpoint and raped in alleys. I've been held hostage 3 times.
This floor actually could just crack in. That floor could just fall. Okay.
Hello folks, today we're looking into the drug epidemic that is absolutely horrific and just infiltrating cities all around America.
All my veins have collapsed or they don't work.
Today we're boots on the ground in Baltimore where we're surrounded by dirty mattresses, needles, human feces, and just human despair.
Till you see a limp body whose life ends with a gun.
We're here to give people stories and also explore how we can make this better. This is a massive problem in America, something that we need to look into, need to figure out how to change, and we're here firsthand to explore and give you the story. Today, folks, we're going boots on the ground in Baltimore, getting an inside look into the drug epidemic that's running its way through the city. We go into trap houses that are full of paraphernalia. We explore the drug called tran, which is ripping apart the city.
Turning people into what some are calling living zombies.
We're aided by our friend Nick, who has dedicated his life to helping people become sober.
I can refer you all over to the city and state.
We're also joined by YouTube journalist and my friend Brandon Buckingham, known for covering stories like the Juggalos, O-Block, the Capitol 6 riots, and much, much more. This guy is one of YouTube's best journalists. So now we go boots on the ground with Brandon and Nick. This is the stuff that mainstream media won't show you, but we will. Viewer discretion is advised. We're pulling into West Baltimore today, the second most dangerous city in America. And right now the city is in a state of emergency due to a drug epidemic. They're mixing fentanyl with xylazine, which is an animal tranquilizer. Putting it together, it's kind of the Kensington zombie effect. Their attorney general is petitioning to make it a state of emergency. There's dozens of news articles about it. It is really affecting the city. And today we're meeting up with a local contact that is dedicating his life to helping people in these situations. We'll see you on the streets. So we're investigating tran today. Have you heard of that?
Of course, tranquilizer. That's been going on for years. It's nothing.
Really?
Just a different name.
And is it really flooding into the city right now?
In downtown Baltimore area, it might be more prevalent.
It's more prevalent in East or West Baltimore?
West.
So if you were mayor, what would you do to help this issue?
I would probably try to clean up the Lexington Market area. That's pretty much the hub of the drug trade downtown.
Are you trying to incarcerate people? Did you give them other opportunities?
Other opportunities, drug treatment, things of that nature.
My name's Nicholas Johns. I'm an outreach specialist. What I do basically is street interventions in places like West Baltimore, Philadelphia. I go into the streets and approach people that are in active addiction or states of homelessness and offer them an immediate route to remedy where their life is at.
What is the drug primarily that's ripping apart the city right now?
It's fentanyl. You know, before it's fentanyl, it's heroin.
So do you ever get nervous before you go and do this stuff?
Honestly, no. We're going into an impoverished area where gun violence is prevalent, you know, and there's a lot of drugs. I'm known in these areas, and also if anybody with us, like, y'all really don't need to worry about anything.
How many people like you are out doing what you're doing?
In Baltimore, it's me, just me.
What makes what you do unique?
I just get really strong numbers in regards to the amount of people that I actually place from the streets directly into treatment facilities on a given day.
How do people get into these positions?
People are born into this as an environment, in which case you got pretty much every angle of life stacked against you. You got generational poverty, institutionalized racism, cyclical devolution from drugs in your community. You've got the other way out, which is trying to procure money through the drugs in your community. Then you have the violence that goes alongside all of that.
Where is this stuff coming from? Is it Mexico? Is it China?
The analog for fentanyl is largely being produced within China and also Mexico. Xylazine is, that's like a veterinarian drug used to sedate animals.
The average citizen, you're seeing an abandoned building, but to someone who could be battling opioid addiction right now, they see a place for shelter, a place to use substances safely, and they actually will sleep and live in a lot of these buildings.
So this is the first building we walked into, and already right away, needles. I imagine it's a spoon for heroin, or?
Yeah, so that's like a cooker. Somebody would use that to cook up whatever substances they were injecting. That's actually the same thing. That's also a cooker. Needles right there. You got the cigarette butt, but then you got the needle end cap right there.
Do people sleep in here?
I doubt it. People definitely get down right here. Right there's another cooker. So we're at 3 cookers. This actually probably isn't even that frequent of a spot.
Try and imagine living in an area where this is happening next to your house. You got dilapidation. It's infested with drugs and litter. And imagine being a kid growing up, seeing this every day when you walk to the bus to school, every day when you go to the corner store, what it might do to your psyche.
I wanted to ask, coming into places like this, they kind of provides protection from police, right? A safe place to get high and not have to worry about the cops arresting you.
Police in Baltimore really aren't preoccupied with people getting high unless it's people getting high in very upper class areas. Otherwise, they're worried about gunshots here. They're worried about murders here. That right there, that's for smoking crack.
Should we play a game, what's in the suitcase? I'm guessing feces or a used condom.
I'm guessing nothing, but it's a damn nice looking suitcase.
Yeah.
So let's see what we got.
Okay.
Oh.
Advanced plastic sheeting. A rechargeable arcade card. I'll be honest, this is what I was in it for. I've got what I need. I'm gonna go hit Dave & Buster's. Appreciate your time. Just one step outside of this abandoned building, I stepped directly on this needle, hidden in the brush, exposed needle.
It seems like the classic, the telltale sign of this trank stuff is the zombie kind of.
I mean, yeah, when people are that nodded out, you know what I'm saying? They're incapacitated. It's just a perpetual state of unconsciousness. Yo! Syringe bags right there.
We're just walking to an abandoned building after abandoned building, and they are just, it looks like a war happened here. I mean, don't get me wrong, America has so much beauty in it, some of the greatest wealth the world has ever seen, but on the flip side, some of the highest amount of human despair. If you were mayor, what would you do to make this place a little safer or better for people?
Definitely put more food stores up.
Is there not enough places for people to get food and shelter?
Heck no, there's no outreach programs, nothing like that.
How would you describe this area to people?
There's a lot of abandonments, so everybody has a place to live.
Do you call it abandonments?
Mm-hmm.
How do you survive out here?
I do date.
What's the most common drugs to be found around here?
Heroin and crack.
How'd you get to here?
Everybody that ends up here gets stranded here. We came to cop, we got caught because it's like a fast life, so and everybody gets stuck like this.
So do you feel stuck right now?
Almost.
How much money do I need to find drugs around here?
I don't know. It's if you can find them. I mean, not everybody's friendly.
Do you know anyone that has passed away from an overdose?
I don't know anybody. It's common.
Is it dangerous being a woman out here?
Oh, 100%. I've been raped in alleys. I've been held at gunpoint and raped in alleys. I've been held at gunpoint and raped by a child in an alley. I've been held hostage 3 times.
Do you ever call the police?
No.
Do the police help?
They will if you call them, but nobody ever calls.
How did we get here?
You know, the drug epidemic is one thing. That has started back in the 70s. It has progressed to what it is now. Now we have a lot of carjackings, crime, murders, and killings. In my early 20s, a lot of stuff that's going on now, I didn't have to deal with. It's now just me out here doing what I have to do to survive, and then you have a bunch of people with no opportunity. They're gonna do what they know how to do.
What we are about to do is walk into the trap houses. There could be junkies, there could be needles, there could be who knows what around the corner. We're walking into these buildings and seeing what we find.
We're using it here, see all by the ground. Works. I'm sure we go upstairs.
Work just laying for the paraphernalia.
Yeah.
Do you think this is someone's spot?
Yeah. They had a fire going in here.
Like we have paintings for children on the wall in this dilapidated building. It's hard to imagine a child living in a place like this.
Yeah, look, this floor actually could just crack in. I'd be hella thankful because that floor could legit fall. Okay.
Is it scary living here?
I'm not personally scared, no. Some people are. There's a lot of drug dealing, rivalries.
If you were mayor, what would you do to make the drug issue be better?
If the dealer's in jail longer, they're not staying in jail long enough. They've literally set fires inside the house, you know, a metal trash can or something, and it gotten out of hand and caught on fire. Several are burnt down. They've found bodies in there when they're burnt, you know, after they're put out. They need to just tear them down.
What's going through your head right now?
I was chilling, having a good day with y'all.
This is a normal day in the life of Nick, right?
Yeah, this is pretty standard operating procedure, but I'm having a good day.
I've known about this stuff for a while, and I've known like a lot of people I grew up with would come down here to buy drugs, but actually being on the inside behind the boarded up windows, it's pretty fascinating to see the conditions that people live in, you know?
Like, it's easy to watch a TV show about it or read a book about it, but when you actually are walking through the needles, walking through the dilapidated buildings, and talking to people that you can just tell are in a very tough spot. I mean,
when you look at these living conditions, it kind of gives you a good understanding of how this drug affects you. If you're willing to live amongst that, the trash and the filth and whatnot, like obviously it has a really, really strong hold on these people, and it's not as easy as just stop.
Sometimes I feel like people potentially feel like they're happier sitting by the fire where they're at versus trying to climb up or down a level. But one thing, point that I'll give kudos to Baltimore on, of all cities I've worked in, they have such an immediate ease of access to treatment here, 24/7, multiple places that you can just show up, have no ID, have no insurance, and by the end of the day, you're gonna be enrolled in an inpatient treatment facility with a rent-free place to live, 6 to 9 months. You're gonna have full case management services that help you get things like TDAP, food stamps, birth certificate, social security card, ID, job placement. So there definitely are organizations here that are ready and willing to help people build back their lives up from the chaos and the death that this is out here.
How bad is the opioid epidemic here in Baltimore?
It's terrible. My daughter, her old man put me out. That turns me back onto the streets.
Coping with life on the streets isn't easy.
No, it's not. My life is too precious to be out here doing the opium and all that bullshit. It's too much. Look at all these abandoned houses. A whole block ain't nothing on the streets. They need to build these houses back up, put people back into society again.
What are some things you think could be done to help curb the opioid epidemic, lessen the damage it's doing to society?
Stop it, like y'all doing.
Raising awareness?
Yes. You know, like the police raiding all these spots now. That's a good thing, too.
Breaking up the people that are living in the abandoned buildings?
Yeah.
Is this something you see yourself dedicating your life to?
Yeah, I mean, I already have, bro. Just really the next step is going to be launching the nonprofit in regards to teaching other people the methodology of outreach that I employ on a daily basis. I really just want to positively influence the macrocosm of mankind.
Here's a GoFundMe in the description that's helping him grow his nonprofit, scale his nonprofit. I'm gonna put my own money up for it, and I hope you do as well. Let's see if we can move something, guys. The power of the internet to change people's lives is a beautiful thing. There's a huge drug issue. What is your commentary on that?
The reason I came out here was because I'm an addict. I'm originally from Carroll County, so it was easier to obtain drugs at a cheaper price. I was in treatment. I was living out Frederick at a place called Salad Ground. I was actually 2 years clean. I relapsed, so I came out here with the expectation to continue using.
How long ago was that you relapsed?
This was exactly April last year.
Damn, man.
I shoot up, right? Yeah. The only place I can actually go is in my neck. All my veins basically have collapsed or they don't work. When I attempted to inject any kind of drug, what happens is it won't pull the blood. It'll be like a miss. You can see that right there, that's from a miss. Now anybody that's using kids at home, don't do drugs. It's been the biggest mistake in my life.
Does it feel like a hole that's almost impossible to get out of?
Oh, definitely. They're trying to like mask some kind of pain that they're bearing. For me, it was losing my 2 children. I got 2 kids that got adopted. I lost them about 7 years ago. I signed off my parental rights so they'd have a good life. And I'm glad I did, because I ended up going to jail for 2 years. So had I not, I would have pretty much not been there for them regardless. I am homeless technically. I've been staying with a friend in Pigtown. My friend Chris gets 100% disability. We got a nice 3-story townhouse.
So you have a nice place to sleep at, but by day you come here, you panhandle, and you get your fix.
Pretty much.
I see you have different things on your skin. Is that from using?
These are scars right here. But like right here, that's from from using drugs.
How much money do you need a day to survive?
I have a $12 a day habit.
How many people in your family are also experiencing drug issues?
Well, my father, he's active. Older of my 2 sisters. My youngest sister's never done drugs or alcohol.
How old were you when you tried your first drug?
I was 15 years old. Well, I did pot with a friend, and then my second drug was cocaine.
How many times a day do you use?
Twice. I use right when I wake up in the morning. Usually I'll save something from the night previous. When you use, you stop feeling the euphoria from it, but you'll still get the call, meaning like you'll still feel that warm sensation, and it's just a temporary cushion of comfortability. Even though it does go away, your problems are still there after the drugs are gone. It's kind of like a no-brainer though. I pay money to myself. It doesn't even fucking make sense. If anybody hears this and I can help you in any way, I can tell you I've had like 4 hospitalizations in the past year. One was 2 weeks, the other one was a 10-day stretch, and then a week. Drugs are not worth it.
We got some of your poetry here. Do you mind if I read some of it, or do you want to read it?
Kind gets stuck like elf on the shelf. Now you're a fiend shooting dope and killing on yourself. Your brain starts to change and soon starts to corrode. Your age is still young while your body and soul feels old.
There's too many of us struggling in these streets. The sickness out here is a crippling disease. The junkies out here, parents, kids, and friends, this vicious cycle we live never seems to end. That's powerful, man. What is it like living here?
It's crazy. I was actually born in Germany. I was an army brat, so I've lived in like 7, 8 different states. My parents actually live on a golf course. After college, I kind of, did some stuff on my own, and me and my girlfriend wound up here. We've been here for like 2 years. We lived in like 5 different houses, and every house we seem to move in, the owners come and, end up kicking us out. But we actually found this really...
Are you squatting here? Or?
Yeah.
And how hard is that to do around here?
We actually talked to the person who owns this, and we keep it pretty clean. So he said as long as we continue to keep it clean and we're not causing any trouble with the neighbors, he doesn't mind, because of course if we move out, you don't know who the hell is going to move in.
What are the houses like around here?
You get what you see. They're run down. A lot of them, no water, no electricity. Bathrooms are terrible, but for the most part, we can shower, use water to eat, wash our hands and stuff.
What do you make of all the drug abuse that's happening around us?
There's a lot of different reasons why people get hooked on drugs. Most people like to think that, people are doing it just to cover something up or feel better about a past. Started out doing drugs just because I like to get high, I was a former athlete, partied a lot, and one thing led to another, and now I'm out here. It's crazy how it doesn't discriminate though. I met a guy out here, he owns his own restaurant, but he gets high like I do.
What's the drug of choice around here?
Cocaine. It's gone from heroin to fentanyl to now the new things like xylazine, I think is how you pronounce it.
That's the tranquilizer, right?
It's like a horse tranquilizer.
It doesn't look fun at all to do.
I'm not gonna lie, I do it, but it's not something I'm hooked on. I did my dope. I went through my dope phase for a while. I went to rehab actually last year.
What's your hope for the future?
This is just a phase for me and my girl. We actually have plans to get out of here. I did pest control for 8 years, and I have 2 of my pesticide license, so I just need 1 more.
I think you'd be booming in business around here.
Absolutely.
You're a poet too?
I am.
Did you grow up in Baltimore?
No, I did not. I grew up on the Maryland-West Virginia state line. Like this interaction right here never happened. I couldn't go to the grocery store. I'd go grab a gallon of milk after sitting in the parking lot for like 30 minutes. Finally go in, grab some milk at the register. All I would say was like, thank you. I can't breathe. I'm sweating.
Does drugs kind of give you the blanket to feel okay in the world?
It does. I don't feel high when I do drugs. I feel what everyone considers to be normal. I've been doing this since I was 18. So a solid, almost 11 years.
It's crazy to see what drug addiction does to people's lives. On one hand, you have a couple here writing poetry, loving each other, doing the best they can. On the other hand, they're living in extreme poverty, battling addiction every day, with their focus of life centered around the drugs. So folks, this is it. We went boots on the ground, face to face with the drug epidemic here in Baltimore. This is a problem that's only growing, and we need to figure out how to address as a people. We've seen people that had careers that are now on the street. We had people that had kids and now are on the street. And so it can happen to so many of us. Thanks for joining me on this journey, and I'll see you next week.